Hey, 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 hey! Happy Tuesday, guys. It is March 12th, 2024, and we're back once again, guys, looking at the Madeline Soto case. Stefan Stearns got some big charges dropped on him. Not big, but way, way, way more charges than he had. The weird thing is they're not related to Maddie. Let's talk about it and a little bit more about Sebastian. And of course, Elijah Vu, guys. Let's get into this. Let's get this show on the road. Here we go. Here we go. What up? What up? What up? What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. Happy Tuesday. Hope you're all having a wonderful day. Hope you had a wonderful night. Great to be back with you guys. And again, like it says in the title, we are back here talking about the Madeline Soto scenario. Mr. Stefan Stearns got slammed and hammered with some new charges. Thank the Lord. The weird thing is about it is none of them are related to Madeline in that sense, with what Madeline's murder, I should say. Okay. And we're going to talk about that. Of course, there's some new stuff that came about with, not really new, but interesting with Sebastian Rogers' case. We definitely want to talk about that as always, and whatever else we get into. So thank you all for joining me today. As always, I appreciate you guys more than you know. Speaking of which, let's see who we got here with us today. Come on in, guys. Go grab a chair. Looks like Doodlebug's in the house as always. Very much appreciated, Duty. Appreciate having you here. Brandy B, the OG. Mrs. M, welcome back to you. Miss Pamela from over the pond. Polly Pepper, welcome back to you. Miss Kells, great to see you today. Thank you for joining me. Mikey on the mic in the house. What's up, brother? Good to have you here. Good to see you. Miss Jenny Jones, welcome back to you, dear. Great to have you here. Kim Marin, always a pleasure. Great to see you, Mr. Steve. What's going on, brother? SWTC's in the house. Good to see you. The Archer and the Empress. Great to have you here. Great to have you back today. Miss Julia, always a pleasure to see you as well. Party of Five's back. Welcome back to you. Mr. Robert Bell is in the house again. Thank you for joining us today, Robert. Great to see you. Tina B, welcome back. Great to see you. Great to have you here. Leslie and Billy's in the house. Welcome back to you. Great to see you guys. Thank you for joining us. Of course, good golly, Miss Molly's in the house. Good to have you here, Molly dear. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you very much. You just being here is enough for me. Thank you for being here. Miss Victoria, always a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. Great to see you all. Come on in, guys. Grab a chair, grab a seat, grab your coffee, tea, whatever it may be. Please come on and sit down, have a conversation with me. I appreciate that so very much. Kim O, welcome back to you. Good to see you all. Aliens. Do we have aliens? Poof. Hello, hello. What is going on? Kiki. Come on in, everybody. Grab a chair. Oh, I hope you guys are having an awesome start to your day today. And I hope everybody had a wonderful night last night and enjoyed it as much as you could. It's beautiful here today. It is beautiful here in many, many ways. You can see that beautiful view behind me in the dining room there, my lovely and amazing wife. And it is beautiful outside, guys. It's like 60 degrees, sunny. What's going on? It just snowed yesterday. We had a blizzard yesterday. The weather's nuts. Bipolar Ohio weather. What are you going to say? It is what it is. Thick Infant is in the house. Fat Baby Toodles, good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. Great to have you here. Can you feel the love? I can. Welcome, Feel the Love. Good to have you here. Thank you for joining us today. Mandy Joe, the Wonder Mod. What is going on? Good to see you, dear. Yes, it is. I'm wondering what's going on, though. Why? Why are there no other charges, guys? I'm starting to wonder. There's something else we need to talk about here? A little strange, a little weird. Yeah, forget about it, Mikey. It's a fugazi. Hey, come on now. Come on. Bobby J, welcome back to you. Good to see you. Thank you for joining us today. There's Miss Salty. Miss Salty's in the house. True crime time here. I just saw your message, Salty. I'm so sorry. Literally just saw it. I've been on here researching and didn't even look in there. Got me stumped. Welcome back. What's going on? Good to see you. Good to have you here today. Shelly, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Welcome, everybody. We got 69 people here and 38 likes. Come on, you guys. Do I have to say it again? At least pretend like you like me. Come on now. It's good to see you all, though. Well, I got some questions. I do. I got some questions. Got me thinking. 6 days off, 70 plus coming, and you can't wait. I'll bet, Tina. I bet. It's awesome. Molly, did you know that doodles liked probes? Whoa. I don't even know what to say to that one. You guys are crazy. I'm with you on that, but I wonder. Wonder. I don't know. Makes me wonder. Yes, if you will, please like and share this out. Please. Summer Jade, welcome back. Which interview are you talking about there, Jenny? Oh, I've already said that one, Salty. I did a whole show on that. I strongly feel that Stearns is tied to Santa over there in St. Cloud, guys. I'll reiterate that today. I'm going to show you what I was talking about for those of you that may not be familiar. Yeah, I have a strong feeling that there is a tie there. A few people said they didn't think so, but it's just too coinky dinkle for me to say that there's not. Okay, I can't let that go. Good morning, Miss Victoria. I hope you're having a wonderful day. Oh yeah, Jenny, I saw that one. Sorry, I thought you were talking about another one, and then some. I'm sure, 100%, Molly. Yeah, this is insane, folks. There's so much of this crap. Thank you so very much, Archer. You can yell all you want, guys. I don't mind if people use caps in here. It doesn't bother me because that's how I type because I can't see very well sometimes. So I'm not all crazy about typing in caps and all that stuff. I think that's a big deal. Ridiculous when people get all crazy about that. It is no big deal. Just helps me see it better. That's all. So no worries, Archer. Miss Delta's in the house. Welcome. That's right. That's why I'm telling you guys. I told you I feel like there's very possibly a connection. Maddie was found 11 minutes from there, guys. Think about it. Yells. I always yell in text. That's right. I want you guys to hear me. It's just you, Whitney. Welcome. Good to see you, Whitney. Thank you for joining us today. You are appreciated. Thank you for joining us. I love seeing all the new faces, guys. I really, really do. We are growing every day, you guys, and I am so super duper super impressed and thankful for that. You guys are amazing. I am grateful. Welcome to all the meatballs. I appreciate seeing all the green. Go green or go nothing. That's awesome, guys. There's a lot of green in here now. We got a lot of awesome meatballs. I appreciate you all so very much as well for jumping into sauce with me today as we spill some of that sauce and talk about some of these things. I absolutely agree with that too, Archer. I really do. Think about this, guys. 60 new charges, and they're all related to the same charges he had. You know what I'm saying? Something's up. Something's up. That's right. Go green, guys. That, by the way, is Sebastian's favorite color, and we can support and represent him in that way too, guys. So I would love to see all the green hearts in chat. If you guys can throw those out there, just in support of finding Sebastian and bringing him home, folks. KW10, welcome. Good to see you. Great to have you here. It is an awful and strange case. I do agree, KW. And guys, again, anytime we have somebody new, please welcome them with open arms as we do with everybody and make them feel at home and comfortable, please. Thank you again to all my moderators who, again, I couldn't do this without ever and would not even attempt it. So thank you all for joining me and being here today. Proud Mary, welcome back to you. Great to see you. Let me see. I swear I saw somebody else. Miss Shelley's in here. And that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about, Shelly. There's no schmurder. I like how you did that. No schmurder charges yet. None at all. And it's creepily weird. I'm sorry. Come on in, everybody. Grab a seat. All of you guys, all my over the ponders, the UKers, welcome to you guys. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. I don't care where you're at. I hope it's good for you because it's great for me to be here with you guys. It really, really is. Miss Kells, there you are. If I didn't see you before, I do see you now. Welcome, welcome. KL Wingate, welcome to you. Again, guys, I really love seeing these green hearts in the chat because that represents Sebastian Rogers' favorite color, and we can support bringing him home by doing just that, guys. I see you there, Kels. I knew you'd be here. I knew you'd be here. Yes, guys, if you want to become a member of the True Crime Cafe and hang out with me on a regular basis, we have plenty of room for all of you guys, and that's how you do it right there. To become a Dago family member of the sauce, become a meatball. Click that link, figure it out, and you will become one very quickly and very easily. Thank you so much, KL. Oh, it's okay, Victoria. There's never anybody late, and you don't ever have to worry about all them things, guys. I am not that crazy about that stuff. It doesn't bother me. Welcome, Groot. Good to see you. Welcome back. Come on in, guys. Grab a chair, grab a seat. 60 likes. Come on, we can do a little bit better than that. Let's get up there and get this out in that algorithm because that's what we got to do to get it seen and heard by everybody. That's right. Miss Brainy was a meatball before there were meatballs. She was all alone, all by herself. Just one lonely meatball in the sauce. Miss Carrie Pashula, welcome back to you. Great to see you here today. War Eagles in the house. Roll Tide, roll. But hey, hit that like button. That's right. Thank you for being here, War Eagle. Another awesome moderator here. Thank you so much for joining us today. Thank you, Miss Delta. Again, guys, thank you to anybody that has donated to any of these links here. This supports the channel and keeps this channel going, pays the YouTube premium stuff. It pays for the StreamYard. It pays for my internet so that I can do this with you every single day. So please, please know how much I appreciate that. It is never, ever expected, but always beyond appreciated for anybody that donates to those links. Thank you so very much. And God bless for anyone that does that. I appreciate you so much. Come on in, everyone. Get a seat. Raul, welcome back. Good to see you. It's okay. Take your time. Victoria, I'm not going anywhere anytime soon. You got plenty of time. Don't rush. Let Kano enjoy his walk. Please, if you will. Thank you, War Eagle. I appreciate that so very much. And thank you to anybody that has purchased anything and sent it my direction from that wish list. You are appreciated. That helps me so very much too, guys, because it is all stuff that I use for this. So it keeps me going in that fashion as well. So thank you for that, guys. You're awesome. That's right. As long as Kano gets his exercise in and he's happy, that's all that matters. Because if Kano's happy, Victoria's happy. And we all know that. No, nothing yet, Eagle. But we're going to talk about Sebastian's situation in a different way today, a little bit, because I'm seeing things a little bit different. Oh, you already did it, Victoria. Okay. I was under the assumption you were in the midst of it. Clue, a lot of you guys were over there. I saw Cluminati put on a great show this morning. Very informative. And I was over there hanging out, checking it out, and it was awesome, guys. It made me see some things that I wasn't seeing before. I'll put it that way, and it makes some things make some sense now. So we're going to talk about that too, if we can. Yes, I did, Eagle. Clue was talking about him too. Riley, I believe his name is, that's missing from Mizu. That's right. Yes, I did see that. That's okay, Kim. There's that word again, Kel's corruption. He's always happy and stubborn. That means he's a normal dog. You hear mine whining back here because Mama's home today. She has no work. She's off for 2 days. I'm excited because I get to hang out with her. There we go. Thank you, Zelda. That's Clue's link right there, guys. For those of you, when this is said and done, if you have not checked it out, please go check out the video she put out today. It's really good. Her and Cletus always put on a great show. And they put out something that was very informative today, and it caught my attention for sure. So please, if you will, go show a little bit of love. If you haven't checked out Cluminati's channel, do that, subscribe, and check out that video, folks, and all the others, of course. Welcome, Jules. Good to see you today. Thank you for joining us today. I appreciate you. Miss Harsh One, Shelley, True Crime and Nature. Thank you for joining us. It is a beautiful day out. It really is. I got that. The windows are open. The fresh air is coming through. It's amazing. I love it. What's that? What's that? Miss Kim says, taking my driving lesson earlier. You changed your icon, Kim. It's a great picture. After all my medical issues, I can drive again. That's awesome. Congratulations to you. That's amazing. I'm glad to hear that. Nothing but positivity. That's awesome. Come on in, everybody. I don't know. I think Mama Bear has to work today, unfortunately. I don't know that she'll be joining us. I haven't got to talk to her yet today. And thank you, Zelda. If you can, guys, please check out the other awesome channel that we both have a tendency to run over here. Mama Bear's channel is called Crime Time with Mama Bear. Go over there, check that out. There's a link. Subscribe, show the love, and come on in there, because there'll be a lot more shows we're going to be doing over there. She's going to be going live like I do, and I will be joining her as often as possible and making that channel grow and get just as good, so that you guys have another place that you can hang out as well. Please do. Annie Ruler, hola to you. Welcome. Good to have you here. Yes. More charges for the monster. Beautiful day here in Northeast Ohio as well, Bobby J. Where's all my Ohioans at? I got a lot of Ohio peeps in here. I'm telling you. No shenanigans. Welcome back to you. Good to see you today. Come on in. Go grab a seat, guys. Summer Bryant, welcome. Good to see you. We got a couple summers in here. As we're going into spring, we're meeting some new summers. How about that? That I know I'm a cornball. I'm a cornball. It's okay. We got 69 likes now and 111 peeps. Come on, guys. We can do this. We can do this. Where's Miss Sherry at? She usually starts the game up. Who can do it first? I was walking the dogs in the sunshine, a beautiful, still a chill. Yes, the breeze is nice, though. I like that little breeze. As long as it's not too cold. All right, all right. As Caden calls it, my Matthew McConaughey. All right, all right, all right. Come on in, everybody. Tomboy Charm, good to see you. Yeah, I'm gonna go back and clip some and show you guys that didn't get to see that, Tomboy. That was that's what Clue put out this morning. It's pretty interesting. Mr. Philip Hughes, my friend, good to see you today. I guarantee you she's working hard. Tell my baby sister I said hello and I love her. And tell her not to work too hard, but I know she takes care of you, sir. That's what I was saying when I was over there, Archer. It reminds me of that smiley face case that I hit last year, where they were finding all these males in the river, washing up on the water, on the shores and stuff. And they're always near a bar. I'm telling you, it's all over the place. It's crazy. It really reminds me of that, though. What's up, Bombshell? Good to see you. I can't wait to plant my garden. I'm in with that too. Sarah Laird, welcome. You didn't miss it all. I'm waiting for I was waiting for a few minutes to let everybody get in here. And we're at 75 likes. We need 25 more, guys. Can we do that? Maybe. I think we can. Come on now. We can do that, right? Let's get it in the algorithm. Miss Julia's across the pond there. It's cold and wet. I'm sorry to hear that. But at least you get to hang out with all of us today, and that is awesome for us. I am grateful to have you here, Julia. Oh, of course, there's always somebody else missing. Kim, it's horrible. Always somebody else. Yes, guys, we can hit that. We can hit that. That's right. Smash that like button. Don't break it. That way you can hit it again tomorrow. El Barrico, welcome back. Thank you, Summer, guys. I appreciate you hitting that like button. Just hit it. Hit it one time. It's free. It's easy. It's just one quick tap. Leave me a little bit of DNA. I did, Tomboy. I answered your question too, Tomboy. Those are cute. Very cute. Yes, Miss Kells, it is. Crazy things all over the place. You got a new big puppy, Roxy the glitter Roxy. That's cute. Yes, it is very sad. We're gonna check that out too once we get through the Madeline Soto stuff, because this case, Sebastian's case, really has me bent, you guys. I feel for his father so much, and I'm seeing things in a different light now. Thank you to Clue and Cletus for putting that show on. I didn't. Some things clicked that weren't clicking before, if that makes any sense to you guys. I did, Kim, and thank you for sending me that email. I appreciate that very much. Yes, Clue did a great show. Very, very good show. I was very impressed. Yes, Riley Strain is the Mizu student that went missing. And I just have this feeling again that he's going to show up in that water. I really feel it. It's just like this happy face. There were the smiley face murders that happened years ago. Well, we started about a year ago. We started seeing these new things started to come, people showing up deceased in the water. And they started finding what they called the happy face, okay, around that area. So they linked it together in some senses. And it's always linked to men coming in bars or near. So I covered it because there were so many of them happening, and it was in Chicago and Texas. And then it started bouncing around all over the place. Then it started happening over the pond over in the UK, and I'm like, there's no way this is linked. But is it? You know what I mean? And they're still happening little by little by little. Ladybird Lake, I mean, it's just there's more and more. It's insane. Yeah, the happy face and the smiley face are easy to confuse, Kim. The happy face is the newer version of this. Now, I don't know if it ended up being a copycat scenario that took after the smiley face from back in the day, or if it's just the way it's happening. I don't know, but it's insane. Um, Archer says I'll have to check our local news on the subject. I know we've had several in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Yeah, right. It's happening and it's everywhere, guys. I even contacted Cleveland Metro and asked them if they've had any of this, and according to them, they said that nothing happened down there in the flats and stuff like that. But I gotta question that because it's I don't know. I don't know. Mark and Betty, welcome. Good to see you. Exactly. Harsh Shelley, that's awesome. Austin Ladybird. Yes, Mandy Joe. Absolutely. Absolutely. 120 beautiful people in here. 87 likes, guys. We're almost there. We can do this. We can do this. We can do this. And I'm going to get this set up to get this rolling for y'all. One moment here.
Breaking this half.
All right, guys, come on. Let's get them likes up there. Please, please. I'm going to start this off. I want to get this in the algorithm. We really need to get this seen. Firefly, good to see you. Rebby, welcome. And that's the thing, you guys. I need to understand. I need you guys to understand something, which is why this is so weird to me. These 60 new charges that they're going to talk about here are unrelated to Madeline's death. It's hard to understand and hard to believe, but it's fact. They have not put any charges against him as of yet for her death. So thank you, Miss Zelda. Again, thank you to anybody that has donated to the PayPal, the Venmo, or the Cash App, guys. That keeps me going every single day. I appreciate you all so very much for that because it keeps the bills paid. So thank you once again. There's a lot of charges too, you guys. That's a lot of charges. It's disgusting. That many charges, okay? And I'm sure there's more. Welcome, Peppermint Patty. Good to see you today. All right, guys. I'm gonna get this rolling for us real quick. Tell me how the audio sounds and let me know.
Afternoon, new charges have been filed against Stefan STEARNS. He is the lead suspect in the death of 13-year-old Madeline Soto, whose body was found earlier this month. Meredith McDonough is here to explain that these new charges are not connected to Madeline's murder.
Sheldon, not murder, but still a total of 60 new charges have been filed against STEARNS in connection with the death of Madeline Soto, who was found dead after being reported missing. Now, the new charges include 8 counts of sexual battery on a child under the age of 12, 5 counts of sexual battery with a child 12 to 18 years old, and then 7 counts of lewd and lascivious molestation, and 40 counts of unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performance by a child. Now, shortly after Madeline Soto's disappearance, several disturbing images and videos were found on Stefan's.
This almost solidifies to me that there is a link between him and the Santa pornography ring out of St. Cloud. I'm telling you right now, with all these charges, that almost solidifies that there is a connection to that. I'm telling you.
Stearns' phone. He was then arrested on sexual battery charges along with possession of child sexual abuse material. According to officials, further investigation then revealed more images and videos depicting criminal acts, and this is from where the new charges stem. According to those documents obtained by West 2 News, Stearns was abusing Madeline for nearly 2 years. Now, Madeline was missing
Thank
for
you,
nearly a week
Archer.
before her body was found in a wooded area in St. Cloud. Now, again, Stearns is
Welcome,
a suspect in
Jillian.
her death, but not currently charged with her murder. We'll continue to follow this breaking update. Sheldon, back to you.
So, again, guys, cunning stunt, welcome. One more to hit that algorithm. Is that what all we need, Kim? Is that all we need? Let me see here. Once we get out there, I'm good. You guys are amazing. 101. You guys rock and roll. Thank you so much for getting us out there. Now we can relax and do our thing. Thank you again, Zelda. All right, guys. Again, seeing that many charges were in that man's phone, that tells me he's doing something. There's got to be manufacturing based on what I know that these charges were, the pictures were. How could there not be a link? How could there not be a link? This is right there, guys. These two areas border each other, as Mikey stated. We got some awesome peeps that are Floridians that live down there that know where this area is at. I can't imagine there's not some form of a link. I just can't. I really can't. Mr. J is in the house. What is happening, brother? And it looks like he donated a membership. Went to Fat Baby Toodles. That is awesome. Welcome, Jay. Great to see you, brother. Thank you for joining me today. I've been meaning to get in touch with you, sir. I would love to have you join us one of these days up here and just talk it out, brother. I'd love to have you join us one of these days. I know everybody else would too. By the way, guys, this man here is awesome. He has a amazing show. If we could drop that link, guys, for Mr. J, I would appreciate that so very much. You guys got to go check him out. They work in conjunction all the time with Bob Motto. You guys know I love Bob Motto. And of course, my brothers, the Brothers Buzzed. I love those guys to death. They all work together in conjunction. They're amazing. Amazing channels, folks. Please go check these guys out. All of them. Mandy Joe, could you please drop his link in here? I would really, really appreciate that. Or any of you mods, honestly. That would be awesome. Yeah, I agree with that one, Cunning. There he is. Shaming of Jay, folks. Check it out. Please go show some love. I'm telling you, I know I love it, and I know you guys are going to love it too. Please check it out. Yeah. Absolutely, Shelly. Absolutely. There again is that link. I'm working on that, Archer. I do need to pull that one up to show you guys what charges Santa has on him. Thank you, Kim. I appreciate that. I know Jay appreciates that very much as well. Yeah, I got to get Santa's affidavit so I can show you. I was planning on doing that today as well anyway. So thank you for asking me that, Archer. I appreciate that very much. So 60, I'm going to show you guys this. This is crazy. And this, again, is why I believe there has to be, that there absolutely has to be a link between this, guys. It just doesn't make sense that there's not. At least not to me. I'm not always right, but I'm telling you right now, something is up with this. For sure. Let's see here, 1 second. It's so disgusting to me. So disgusting to me. All right, give me a second here. I'm gonna make sure you guys can see this. So the arraignment will be April 2nd, by the way, 8:30 a.m., and we will be checking that out for sure. All right, so here we go. As you can see, just Stephen Stern's charges with 60 counts stemming from the CSAM material. Arraignment, April 2nd, 8:30 a.m. Boom, boom, boom. And here they start, guys. This is 2 pages full. Welcome, Neil Homestead. Good to see you. Cox, welcome. Good to see you as well. Virginia Wolf, good to see you. Thank you, Cunning. But here we go, guys. Sexual battery on a child under 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of those. Sexual battery with a child 12 to 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of those. Lewd or lascivious molestation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of those. And then unlawful possession of materials depicting sexual performances by a child, 10 or more. There's 40 of those, folks. 40. This is insanely disgusting. Insanely disgusting. No problem, Cox. And that's from my understanding is that's with Madeline herself. I don't know what else he has on there that they have. If there's other children involved, I pray to God that there's not, of course. But I understand. Listen, you got to bear with me, folks. I understand and I support the Constitution that every person that is accused of a crime is innocent till proven guilty, right? I'm all about that. 100%. This, I can't get down with this, folks. I can't get down with this. What the actual hell? This is a monster. This is not a human being, okay? This is not a human being. And me at this point, I'm sorry. You guys know what I stand for when it comes to the laws and things like that. Everybody deserves their chance in court. This is the one time I'm going to tell you. No, burn this down. End it now. Cletus made a comment over in Clue's channel today, and I'm 100% behind him. Like, we're wasting taxpayers' dollars and time taking this man, this creature, this monster to court and giving him the benefit of the doubt to defend himself when we have this on his phone, knowing what he did. It's a waste. I'm sorry, but it's a waste. And I never would say something like that, you guys. But with this, I just can't. I can't. This makes me sick. I can't. I know I'm sounding kind of erratic today, but this blows my mind. And I promise you that this is not probably all of what this man has done. Call him a monster all you want, Cox, please, because he's a monster. He's a monster. It's just that's even being nice, in my opinion. The amount of material he has must be extensive. How on earth did the mother not? That's my issue and problem with this, Jillian. I have a hard time. It would take a whole lot, folks, for you to even make me believe at this point that she doesn't have a clue or didn't have a clue. I'm sorry. Something's off. Something is off and something's not right with this. And again, guys, going back to hold on a minute here. Going back to the St. Cloud scenario, okay? Let me see something here. I can't make myself believe that they're not linked somehow. I can't. Give me a second here. Whoop, 1 second. Sorry. Okay, let me try something else. My apologies, folks. And just to reiterate for those of you that were not familiar with this, I'm going to show you what I'm talking about here. I am so sick to my stomach over this crap. I need to shut this shit down now. Period. Oh, hold on. I don't know what just happened. Now I'm going to show you something new real quick too, but this is also just to give you guys the up on what I'm talking about. This is from 6 days ago when this went down. The timeline matching up with Madeline, her scenario is just too close to me. But for those of you that didn't know about this, this is what I'm talking about with the Santa Claus thing, or the Santa thing, they call it.
St. Cloud police allegedly found several hard drives with videos and images of kids being sexually abused, and hidden cameras used to record kids going to the bathroom and changing clothes. Investigators even say, quote, at one point in a video, the camera pans across a mirror showing H. Cox as the one recording the video file. The complaint also says at least 2 of the victims appear to live in Cox's neighborhood. During Tuesday's raid, the medical examiner also took someone's body from the house, but they've not confirmed who that was. James Cox is now in the Seminole County Jail. No word on what happened to Henry Cox.
Henry Cox, which is his son, took his own life based on what we've been told. When he realized that the warrants were coming, he took his own life. They took a body out of this house when they took him out too. How about that?
No comment.
A man who answered the door to word on what happened to Henry Cox.
No comment.
A man who answered the door today said he had no comment. Emily Jenkins, who lives nearby, says she's glad her kids never came around this house.
Well, I think it confirms like that we can't just be restful and let our kids play outside. It's always play in the backyard now. It's not like it used to be.
In St. Cloud, Bob Hazen, WESH 2 News.
That happened right around the same time that the whole Soto thing started going down too. I so feel that there's got to be a link with this much obvious material that was on Stern's phone. It's okay, Cox. I understand. It's okay. Don't worry about it. It's a very common name, as we found out, so it's not your fault. Don't worry about it. Now this just dropped this morning.
Good morning, everyone.
And you guys know I love Sheriff Grady Judge. I wish every city, county, in every state could have a sheriff like this, okay? I really do. This man is the shit, okay? And Florida's lucky to have this guy. I'll tell you right now. All you Floridians, you are lucky for this man. But again, this was dropped 2 hours ago, guys. And I'm happy for this, but this will show you.
Everyone, thank you for being with us today. Last week, if you remember, we talked specifically about an operation where we arrested 228 people for prostitution and human trafficking. At the same time that operation was underway, we also had another operation underway where we were specifically searching out sexual predators deviants who were focusing on or targeting or wanting to have sex with children. And that was our primary mission. And as I've said before, it takes a lot of people to put these operations on. And if we'd only arrested one person, the entire week would have been worth all the investment. But we arrested many more than that. But that's not possible without our colleagues and our partners. Today, I have representing the Lakeland Police Department who worked with us, Ty Thompson, who is a captain. We also have Sheriff Crawford from Hardy County, Lieutenant Austin Leal from Auburndale Police Department, Lieutenant Dale Hampton from the Lake Wells Police Department, and then from the State Attorney's Office is Monica Smith. Brian Haas, the State Attorney, is simply the very best. And he thinks, like all of us think, that it is unacceptable for these sexual predators to roam around and attempt to engage in sex with children. He recognizes how dangerous they are. Now, Monica is the tiniest person of our group, but she's the baddest one. When she gets in court, she is going to hold these people accountable according to the law. And they may look at us for our size, but they need to look at Monica for her determination to keep the people and the children safe. And I appreciate Brian appointing you to that position. But today I'm going to go over some snapshots. And in addition to these folks that were arrested and the one that's wanted, I want you to understand that these folks are those folks. Those folks have already been through the system, and we're going to talk about them. But understand that these folks will be the new those folks, and some of them are already on that list. So let's go over and talk about a few of the ones we arrested. This is Willie Merrill from Plant City. He's already designated as a sexual offender. So see, he's on this list because he's doing it again. But he was also on that list. In 2005, he was convicted of having sex against a 16-year-old child. Back in the day, he was sentenced to 1 year in prison and 9 years of probation, and then he was sent to us. In 2017,
I agree, Cox.
we arrested him for
Thank you,
soliciting
Molly.
prostitution at one of our ops, much like this, but it was adults he was soliciting. In 2017, at the same time, we charged him for failure to register. So we charged him with new F3s. And believe it or not, for that misdemeanor 2, he ended up with 364 days in jail. Well, normal people would say, hey, I don't want any more of this. I've already been to prison. I'm on sex offender status. I've gotten caught again at an op. And they sent me back to the county jail for a year. But you know what? He is a classic example of how they never change their stripes. If they're not locked up, no matter what status we put them on, no matter how many times they have to check in, he's out seeking deviant sex.
Welcome,
with
Davey.
children. So, in this particular operation, he's online, which is a violation of his condition, and he sees an ad that our undercover people put online, and he goes to an undercover location, thinking he's paying dad $80 to have sex with his child, only 15 years of age. So
Now, did you just hear that? It makes me think that that is something that will happen, has happened, could happen. Okay? He goes there thinking he's paying this father so much money to do that with his child. Let's think about Stefan STEARNS. This is insanity to me. Absolutely insanity to me. Okay, they're taking pictures, videos, and they're showing them through the. I mean, you got what the hell is going on in people's in this world, you guys, in people's minds. But that's what I'm saying. This is insane. But that's what makes me think that there could be a connection within these things. Okay. That's my there. Just think about those. Listen to him.
So he was charged with 2 counts of travel because the first day he traveled but didn't come to the operation. The second day he traveled, and that's when we arrested him. He was also charged with using a two-way device. He was also charged with a felony of the first degree, human trafficking, commercial human trafficking, because he was going to pay to have sex with a child. He lawyered up immediately. He wouldn't talk with us. But in his possession, he had 4 $20 bills and a condom, which matched exactly what he needed in order to commit this crime. So you see, despite his various arrests, his various incarcerations, he's still at it. Well, now we've got him charged with a first-degree felony, and our goal is that he goes to prison. He's 45. A good 25 or 30 years, which is about the max you can get, would be good, unless we can get the judge to run his other charges consecutive. He needs never to breathe air outside of prison if we want our children in the United States safe.
Agreed. Welcome, Gordon.
Have I told you before about Larry Hayes? Larry Hayes is 41. He's from Plant City. He's married. Did you hear what I said? The man is married. He just retired from the Army on February of 23. He retired from the Army as a staff sergeant assigned to satellite systems analyst. And then he came back into the service working for the Department of Defense, working at MacDill in a high security area. He had security clearance. He came thinking that he was going to have oral and vaginal sex with a 15-year-old child, and he was going to pay her dad $250 for the privilege. Now, there's a video we're going to look at. Do we have that keyed up now? To see him as he came into the lobby area of this hotel. Is it ready to show, or are we going to show it at the end? He doesn't have it queued up yet. Okay, we'll show it to you at the end of the operation.
Absolutely, Julia.
That he immediately tells us, I'm there to rescue her. Well, the reality is we rescue.
They all say that. Every one of them says the same thing. I came to save her or him. They all say that.
Rescued some child from him. He doesn't have any criminal history until this arrest. So he's charged with soliciting a guardian to travel, which is human trafficking.
Exactly, Cox.
Felony, okay? Along with communications devices and that sort of thing. All right, next is.
Yes, exactly, Heather. Every charge is against him, but none of them are again towards Madeline's death, unfortunately. It's insane. Every one of those charges is the same type charge, okay? There's 40 of one, 7 of the other, and 6 or 7 of the other one. And it's ignorant.
Edmundo De Salva. He's 36. He's from North Carolina. He's married. And he is a TSA screener. That's right. You know the guy that you got to go through the line at the airports? This is him at Raleigh-Durham International Airport. This is who the federal government trusts to screen you.
Hey, Teresa.
Makes you wonder when they want to do extra screening on children.
See, this is why I like the way Grady does this. He puts the picture out there to humiliate these pieces of shit, which is great. He's telling you what they do for a living because it shows that these people are intertwined all throughout society. Police officers, firefighters, doctors, and nurses, and a military staff sergeant specialist, a TSA operator, whatever the hell that you call that. But anyway, a scanner, whatever it is, they're everywhere, you guys. They're all intertwined all throughout society. Enough is enough. I would vote this man for president. I'm telling you right now, he don't play with these people. He don't play. I'm telling you, and I love it when he does this. And I will show you everything this man does because I support him 1,000,000%.
Doesn't it? So he thought he was going to pay $100 to dad to have sex with her daughter. Well, so happens dad and daughter are undercover folks. But what did we do? We saved children from being victims, because if he hadn't hit on our ad, he might have hit on another ad for a real child.
Exactly. And they're out there.
And when we asked him what he was doing here, he said he was on his way to South Florida to attend a birthday party. Well, we don't have birthday parties at the county jail, and he didn't make it, and he's locked up. All of these guys I'm talking about are still in jail. They're not out. And then he sprung this on us like his DOD buddy. They're really not buddies, but they think a lot. Hey, I've had TSA training, and I was here to do my own investigation.
They all say the same thing.
We're taking you to the county jail, and we're going to give you some screening on the way in. And he traveled.
Yes, bombshell.
Human trafficking. Then there's Hassan Abu Halia. He's from Brandon. He's 27. And he.
Sorry, guys. It's Polk County down in Florida. That's where he's the sheriff at, guys. 100% Cox. This guy, I'm telling you, I would elect him as our next president. And I love this guy. Honest to God.
He's married. Does it ever occur to you that
this guy looks like a terrorist?
Mad wives? If there's not, they should be mad wives, and they should be ex-wives. It's like, hey, you might as well move on with your life, because upon conviction, these guys are not coming home. He said that he worked as a customer service at a customer service center as a call supervisor. And he said,
thank you, Firefly.
AT&T. AT&T didn't want any part about that, and they did not confirm that at all. He's a Georgia.
Just like Disney won't claim Stefan Stearns. They don't want nothing to do with these pieces of garbage. And I don't blame them. This guy looks like a terrorist, for Christ's sakes. I mean, oh, wow. Yeah, I will bring you anything that Grady puts out, you guys, because it's nothing but awareness. It shows faces. It gives names. If any of these pieces of shit were to ever get out, you guys can remember these names and these faces. If you write them down, maybe. I know that seems like a lot, you guys, but in this day and age, everything we can do to put a stop to this or to put a dent in this, the awareness of it alone is helping in some way, folks. And that's why I do this.
Jordanian citizen, but he has a permanent resident status in the United States. He thought he was paying $100 for a half hour of sex. And he thought he was paying it to a mom, and in turn was going to have sex with her daughter. Well, that's first-degree felony.
Now, here's the thing that gets me, and I want your guys' opinion on this. The scam that they run, or it's not a scam, it's a sting that they run to catch these guys, okay? If you heard something like this, would you believe that a mother or a father is prostituting their child? Not typically, no. But it happens, you guys. That's how bad this has gotten. It happens. There are parents that are prostituting their children to make money off of them. It's disgusting. Trafficking their children, I should say, not prostituting. I'm sorry. Okay. You know, and the thing is it's not, in his case, it's not really happening. It's thank God these aren't real parents putting real children out there. It's the sting. They're using that background as the narrative to run the sting. The thing is that they're using that narrative because it happens, and these people are responding to that. You see what I'm saying? What the hell? What the hell, folks? It eats me up inside just talking about this. Okay, we're going back to parenting again, which again, the Soto case. I'm sorry, but when we get into the Sebastian Rogers case, I got other things going on in my mind about that too that we're going to talk about. Maybe not related to this, but it's still all in a conglomerate in this world right now. The things that are going on with parenting and all that, it's disgusting, all of it. So, and I'm sorry I keep interrupting this. I know you guys want to see this, but I need to speak these things when I think them, because I forget a lot of things that I want to say that are important to me. So, again.
And then there's Lewis Nelson.
Sorry again. Hazel Vance says, I think it's time to pass a law that all states to bring back the DP for all child predators where there is a SA or SA leading to the unaliving of a child, have a speedy trial, bing, bang, boom, and we're out the door. I absolutely agree with you, Hazel. That is the one and only time that I have ever right up front supported the DP, because there is no excuse, none, for any of these children to be harmed the way that they have been. In any way, shape, or form, even the thought of that, okay? Even the thought of it should bring that, in my opinion. And I know that's extreme and dramatic, but I'm done with this. I'm done with this. I'm beyond done with this, okay? Exactly. The ADHD doesn't help, Kels. You're right. I'm just saying it's all here, guys. I gotta say it when I think it. So Hazel, yes, I'm behind you 1,000,001% on that one. All the way.
He's 29 from Tampa. He said that he worked for Bosch and Loam in Tampa. And they would not confirm that. I don't blame them. I wouldn't want to take credit for this rascal being around either, but we confirmed it through pay stubs. And he also said he drove for Uber Eats. Now listen, folks. I know everybody's got to eat, but we see the weirdest dudes driving and delivering packages and Uber Eats. That they'll steal stuff. They'll try to have sex with your kids. You got to be careful who you invite to your house, because then they know where you are, and if they see your children, they see that too. But he solicited a guardian for sex. Oh, did you know that he's a Haitian citizen here on a work visa? We did an ICE notification just so that they would be aware. We also notified the Haiti government, like I'm sure they care, that he's here doing this stuff. But he's also locked up.
Keep your ass in your own country. Do that kind of shit over there, not here.
And then there's Brandon Ray.
Actually, it shouldn't happen in any country, but don't come over here doing this kind of stuff. You know? Don't. It shouldn't happen anywhere in the world, but don't come here doing that kind of stuff. I'm so sick of this stuff happening in any way, shape, or form.
From Mulberry. He works at the school board as a mechanic. He did not travel, but he agreed to pay Dad $100 for sex.
Welcome, Jilly.
He said he was worried and scared to travel because he was scared of law enforcement in Polk County. He said, you know, that Grady don't play. Well, he's right about that. When we arrested him, he admitted, yeah, that's me. And then he tells the detectives, you know, I still respect that Grady Judd for all the work he does to protect children in this community. How many brain cells do you really have? I mean, like, you're the guy I'm trying to protect the kids from with my great detectives and those from the police departments. I appreciate you respecting me. I hope you like the accommodations at the jail. Just thinking out loud. He didn't travel because he was afraid.
Awesome. Welcome to the family, Skinny. Welcome to the sauce. We got a new meatball in the house, folks. Congrats, Skinny. I appreciate that very, very much. We are glad to have you on board, my friend.
Then there's Manuel Canasi from Land O'Lakes. He's married. He's got 3 children, 17,
Thank you, Brandy.
13, and 19. He's a laborer. He did not travel, but he was charged with unlawful two-way communications, using a computer to solicit a guardian for sex. He wanted to have sex with a 15-year-old child. You have children the same age.
That's what I don't understand. Anytime I see this and somebody has a child or children that are the same age that they're going, you know, being predators towards, how does that work mentally? How does that work? Would you want that to happen to your child, or does it not? Is that how these people think, that it wouldn't matter if it was their child either? I'm sorry, folks, but you all know that if this was something that had to do with one of my children, as much as I know that if any of your children were ever involved in something like this, where we would all be sitting right now. Okay? That's sick. Miss Sherry, there she is. Welcome, Wisdom Speaks. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you here. Absolute insanity.
And he's out wanting to victimize other people's children. He was willing to pay $100 to have sex. He sent a screenshot of one advertisement that went out that was calling us out. And then this is his quote: "That sheriff is a hard ass," end quote, "and he doesn't play," quote again. Well, right on both counts. And he's also locked up, even though he didn't travel. He was afraid. So then there's John Adams. He's not in custody yet. John gets an extra big picture because he's outstanding. Now, folks, y'all know John. He's a contractor. He works in Lake County. He lives in Dunedin. He's the local guy. He chatted. He was going to pay $380 to have sex for 2 hours with a 15-year-old girl. He was going to pay mom. And he talked very, very filthy. We can't even say those words. How bad are they? They're worse than the words your mama used to wash your mouth out with soap for saying when you were a kid. I tell you that. And he talked about all the vile and nasty things he wanted to do. Fifth, he's a filthy talking rascal. Well, John, he's not any kin to the second president, or, as far as we know. John, you might as well turn yourself in, because we're coming after you. We're going to find you. Yeah, we know that you're hiding right now. So you can go to jail, or you can go to jail tired, and how you do that's up to you. And for friends, relatives, somebody that may know where John is, if you call Crime Stoppers and tell them you can stay totally anonymous, we'll give you cash, and he'll go to jail sooner rather than later. He's out, and he's capable of having sex with your children. Now, I want to remind you of an independent press conference we did last week of Robert Miranda from Titusville. He was not a registered sex offender here, but he was living part-time here. And this is a guy that was masturbating and tried to get a little girl, a 9-year-old girl, into the car by saying, "Have you lost your puppy? Come look at this brown and black puppy." And the 9-year-old girl ran to a friend, and we charged him with a lot of things. This guy, as I explained last week, is horrifically dangerous. The courts yesterday just rejected his appeal for bond, so he's going to be in jail until he's tried. Our goal is to send him to jail forever, but guess what? In a different part of the state, he was on that list. And because of his conduct, there was new charges. He went here. He was not part of the operation, but he was one of the arrests of someone who was there. So when you look through the group over here, it's important to understand, and I want to underscore this, do not think across the Tampa Bay area that these numbers are any larger than the other metro areas per capita for the population. So you'll have greater numbers than us in Hillsborough or Orange because it's a greater population. But those kind of folks right there that we arrest, keep this in mind. There are 1,256 registered offenders in Polk County alone. 1,188 of the 1,256 are for trying to have sex with a child, or they did have sex with a child, and they served their time, and they have sexual offender registration. Of the 153 predators in Polk County, 126 of those charges were as a result of conduct against a child or threatened conduct against a child or a minor. Now, understand, when you go on this,
welcome, Evie Marie.
You have to register twice a year. And we are supposed to go out and lay eyes on you by state statute once a year. In Polk County, our detectives go out and lay eyes on you 4 times a year, a lot more than the state requires. Predators also have to register 4 times a year, and we check on them 4 times a year in addition to the registration. But that's all we can do. This is the ones we know about. And of this 1188 and 126, or if you look at the totality, 1409, we arrest people every week for violating this status. So that was the other part of our operation, not just to catch the new ones, but to make sure where these folks are. And they violated. Now, these 2 guys are at large. This is James Johnson. He's 39. He's a sex offender. He's from the Lakeland area. His last known address was 1409 Dawn Heights off of the east side of the county, but we don't know where he is. And that's part of his new criminal charges, which is an F3. His previous charges was having sex with a minor and impregnating the minor. He served his time, 3 years in prison, back in the day, went on sex offender status. We want you to know there's a reward out for this rascal. And then there's Antone Starks. He does not particularly know James, but he gets to have his picture out here. He's a sex offender. He was last known to be on St. Paul Drive in Winter Haven, and that's just down the road here, about a mile. He's at large as well. And we want him for the same thing we want Johnson for, failure to maintain an address. He was in prison for 5.5 years for a sex offense, plus an additional 5 years for registration violations. So he's been to prison already 10 years. Well, when we find him, we'll put him back in prison for some more violations. You see, when these folks aren't locked up, they're a danger to society. Keep your kids close. Know where they are. Know who they're with, or they could end up.
This is where I feel that the laws need to change. If you do this once, if you right, Mikey, I sped it up, guys, to hurry to get through it a little bit quicker. If you do this once, okay, one time, you're done. That's the way it needs to be. It needs to be end of story. Close the book, rip it up, burn the book, whatever you got to do. That's the end of it. They sit. I know that they run out of room, but that's why I'm thinking, depending on, obviously, I'm not going to go so dramatic as to say that death penalty for certain charges, but if you remotely even attempt to harm a child in this sense, you're done. It needs to be locked away. In my opinion, I don't care what anybody says. And this is just my opinion, I don't think this is rehabilitational. I don't think it can be. Okay, it's a mental disorder. And we've talked about chemical castration and things like that. That doesn't make the thought go away. Maybe that part of their body doesn't work anymore, but their hands still do, and their mind still does. And the other things that can be done can still be done. I don't even want these pieces of shit looking at our kids, not even viewing them. Okay. And that's what I'm saying. They need to stay locked up somehow. I know that there's laws and they have to be, constitutionally and all that stuff. It needs to end, you guys. It needs to end. Hey, Felicity, good to see you, dear.
With somebody like this. Now we're going to ask our colleagues and our teammates to
Welcome, Deb.
We'll start first with the Hardy County Sheriff, Sheriff Crawford. Sheriff Crawford is determined to keep the people in Hardy County safe. When we arrest these people, make no mistake about it, they come from other parts of the state here, and that's when we catch them. But whether it's Polk County or Hardy County, Hillsborough or Orange, wherever they are, if they're not locked up, they're dangerous. Sheriff?
Thanks, Sheriff Judd. And what he says is true. It's an ongoing thing, and per capita, where violations are in Hardy County being smaller, of course, we have less violations, but they're out there. And I want to thank him and the agencies that helped out in this investigation and got these individuals off the streets. What is happening with the children by these vile people it's inconceivable, really, and it's hard for people to understand why it happens. But again, with the state attorney's office, I'm thinking that we're going to do good and keep these people away from our children. Human trafficking is something that is on a lot of people's mind these days, and
It's bad, guys. It's gotten to be so bad at this point. I mean, it's so bad. It is so bad. I know that they can't keep these people locked away forever. Lobotomize them. I'm extreme with this anymore, you guys. Lobotomize them and lock them in a damn hospital. Put them on an island out in the middle of nowhere, all alone by themselves. Keep them all together. Something. I know this stuff sounds ridiculous, you guys, but we have to keep them away from our children. We have to protect our children. Every state needs to go and sweep the floors, folks, and clean this shit up and get rid of it. Seriously. And this comes back to us again. I say this all the time. We have to stand up. We have to start watching. We have to start being involved in everything that involves our children and our grandchildren, because it's not going to stop. These sickos exist all over the place, and they will not. They're not going away. So we need to take our part in this and stand up and do something. Okay? Period. Now, I'm not telling you guys to go out and become mercenaries. Okay? We can protect our children by keeping them near us and informing them and educating them and everything that we have to do to keep our children safe. We have to do it. Just like that one story where that piece of trash tried to lure that little girl by saying, "Did you lose your dog?" And she bolted. That's what they have to do. They have to be taught. You do not, I don't care what it is, you don't respond to these people. You scream as loud as you can and you run. Somebody's going to help you. And we have to be the people to help. And I know exactly, Cox. A lot of people are saying, it's not good to be a helicopter parent. Well, I don't care. Then I'm not going to be good as a parent then, or a grandparent, because that's what I'm going to be. That's what the problem is. Too many people are letting their 5 and 6-year-old children walk out the door to play on the street by themselves and not seeing them ever again. That doesn't work anymore, folks. It does not work. It may have worked when we were kids because the neighborhoods were different. People were different. Our parents were different. We have to be the change. Period.
got to come to the forefront like it has here. And I want to again thank Sheriff Judd and the agencies that has helped out to keep these people off the streets. Thank you.
Next is Captain Hy Thompson, a dear friend of mine.
I saw it, Molly. I'll get it. I'll get it here in a minute.
Immensely during this entire operation. Yeah.
On behalf of the Lakeland Police Department, Chief Sam Taylor, I'd like to say, as a representative of the Lakeland Police Department, that we were fortunate to have participated in this operation, as well as many operations in the past that Sheriff Judd has included us in. This operation happened to be in the greater Lakeland area, which benefits our agency and our community greatly. I would like to commend all the law enforcement agencies who participated in this operation and their continued efforts to keep our children safe in our community. If our goal saves just one child, then we have successfully completed that mission, but our goals are to protect all the children. So again, thank you to all the agencies that participated and to Sheriff Judd and his agency for their professionalism and their guidance in this human trafficking effort.
Thank you, Captain. Do we have the video up? Okay, this is a lobby of a hotel. And what we have is an undercover person that's going to be setting and waiting on one of our deviant predators, thinking he's coming here to pay for a child. You see, he's giving him the money. And when he gives him the money, he's going to escort him down to where he thinks it's a child in that room, but he's surprised that it's not a child. Like he's supposed to work, but instead he's just going to knock on the door, I guess. He doesn't know how to use the key. There you go. He's a slow learner. Okay. All right, and here's the second one. The lower corner is our undercover. He's blurred out. And in just a minute, there's a man coming in here who thinks he's going to pay dad to have sex with his 15-year-old daughter. And here's some small talk. I'm going to go have sex with your daughter. I mean, what do you say to the guy whose daughter you're about to rape, you know? This won't take long. This is insanity. Now, when he waved, he was waving to one of the undercovers that he thought was the girl. So once he saw the girl, hey, she's real, then he pulls out his money. So talked to dad, saw the girl.
He thought he was going to dupe this guy.
And
he didn't realize that he's off to be arrested. But if it weren't for us operating undercover, this would be a child that was attacked.
Calmly,
Coolly.
Okay,
I think you.
Okay. Any
Any
questions
for us?
How's this guy going?
If
If they didn't, then these people wouldn't come to us. They absolutely do.
They
They sell the children.
Well,
I don't like to talk about where other people can go look for these, but the people who do it know those websites well, and they're there. Now, that takes us to the next step. Why in the world doesn't Congress make these IT people responsible for that content? Instead, they step back and say, oh, it's just passing through our servers that we're making billions of dollars on. We're not responsible for it. But you know, if we can create this immense technology that you can ask, you can talk to your phone, ask it any question, and in 2 seconds get the answer back, we can stop this conduct.
Amen. Amen.
Before social media, it was very, very difficult for a sexual predator to hook up with a child. And now it's very easy because you can hook up with a child, you can hook up with the parents of the child, you can groom the child, you can groom the parents of the child. We see these sexual predators that actually take up with mom who's divorced in order to get access to the children. But these IT companies could restrain this by content checking, but they don't, because you know what? They really don't care. They're after profit and they don't care. Any other questions? Thank you very much. Have a good day.
Sorry about the echo, folks. I forget sometimes. So, again, one more time, Mr. Sheriff Grady Judd doing his thing, and I'm grateful. I am. That's not even my state, but like I said, little at a time, it works, folks. It works. Like I said, I'm reading the chat here, and you know what, Space Cake, I can agree with that. Here's the thing. We didn't know about it when we were younger because we didn't, experience, unless we did experience it, we didn't know. Our parents didn't tell us this can happen or that can happen all the time because it wasn't a big thing. It wasn't as bad then, okay? It's gotten worse since social media and internet has come around because it's easier to communicate all over the place now as compared to what it used to be. That's why it has become so bad now, because we have social media We have internet. We have all of these things now that weren't around back in the 80s that we didn't have. It did still happen. Don't get me wrong. Okay. It's just, it wasn't as widespread because they didn't have the communication abilities, like I'm saying. So being that we have control of social media and this internet, we have that control. We can control that. We can start here at home. Okay, guys, with our own children and grandchildren. Okay. That's what I'm saying right here. The internet is a predator's playground, 100%. That's when, if you go back and start seeing when the numbers went up, when everything got worse, is when all this stuff came to be. Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, all this other shit appeared, and it just got worse and worse and worse and worse. Okay. So at this point, we have that control. If you have a 6 or 7-year-old child, and I'm not telling you what to do with your children or your grandchildren, but my opinion is to not allow them to be on TikTok and Snapchat and Instagram and Facebook. And for what reason? They're small children. They don't need to be on there. They need to be outside playing, or playing in the house with their toys, or in the neighborhood with their friends being supervised, not on your phone or a phone. My children, and I'm different. I'm not telling you guys what to do with your kids. Please don't take me wrong. My children didn't get phones until they were 13 years old, and they only got track phones, okay, prepaid scenarios, because they didn't need anything other than to be able to talk to you for emergency situations. Okay, that was it. End of story. Once they became 16, 17 years old, yes, they got smartphones. They bought them themselves because they wanted them. They worked. Okay. And we still regulated until they were adults the types of social media that they were on, because it's dangerous, folks. We see it here. Okay. And 16, 17-year-old kids are still very impressionable. They're still very, they can be manipulated. I can be manipulated. You can be manipulated. It's just, it doesn't matter. So when you have somebody else that's watching your back by paying attention to what's going on in those situations, it's very helpful, as we need to be right now. Okay. I agree that the children should have a form of communication, but guys, we didn't have cell phones when we were in the 80s. We didn't have those. We survived. Okay. Now I will say this. Yes, I understand there are no more payphones. And it's very hard to make a phone call in the heat of the moment without a cell phone. I get that. Okay. But you don't have to give a small child a smartphone. They don't need that. They don't need access to all of this stuff at 6 and 7 years old. They don't. They need to be able to dial a telephone and make a call to mom or dad or grandma or grandpa or whatever. That's really all they need for emergency circumstances. Okay. Or to be able to dial 911. That's what I'm saying. You know, you could. Yeah, we had money for payphones and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying, Victoria. I agree with that. But, and I know that they're not out there anymore. And I'm not saying that kids shouldn't have phones. You know, they still make children's, I call them kid phones, the flip phones, or even smartphones that don't have access to all of that stuff. You know what I mean? I mean, that is true too. Sherry's right. It's unrealistic to think that what our parents did and what we did will work today, because it's different. I agree with that. But I just don't understand giving like small kindergarten, first and second grade age children access to all of these social media platforms to see and hear. This is why our kids are growing up so fast, you guys. They're not staying young like they used to. You see 7, 8-year-old, 9-year-old kids that are doing things that you just shouldn't do at that age, that knowing things they shouldn't know at that age. It doesn't make sense. Okay. You know, that's it right there, Skinny. Our children are being sexualized when they're not even out of kindergarten. What? They can't even spell their name half the time, and that's already happening. That's what I'm saying, guys. It's unethical. It doesn't make sense. Your gut reaction, if your gut reaction is that a child is in harm, they most likely are. We have to be kind. And that's the other thing. I've been saying this, you guys. I no longer will mind my own business. Everybody has said for years, mind your own business. We stay out. I'm staying out of it. It's not my business. It's not this. It's not that. That's part of the problem. If you see something, then you say something. We have to. We have to. We can't mind our own business anymore because this is what happens when we mind our own business. Turn around and wave, honey. Anyway, and I know a lot of people may disagree with me. That's okay. You don't have to be me. You don't have to do what I'm doing, but I will not mind my own business at this point. I won't. If I see something that makes me uncomfortable, guess what? I'm going to say something. And if that causes an interaction that may be uncomfortable for a few minutes until it's straightened out, then it is worth that to me. But guess what? If we don't, that could be that one time where we could have stopped something from happening. I don't want that on my conscience. I don't want that on my mind. Okay? That's all I'm saying. So, I don't know, guys. There's a lot about this that bothers me. You guys know that as well. And I know it bothers a lot of you because you're here right now having this conversation with me and agreeing with me. You know, parents aren't giving children a moral background anymore either. That's a fact. There's a lot of morality that's not being taught anymore. It's just not happening. And I tell you guys, I hate it. My wife and I, we know, okay? My granddaughter walks in this house. She has a tablet, okay? This is a perfect example. She has a tablet. They all have their things. The kids do. She walks in this door when she gets here. She takes her coat off. It barely sits down, and she's reaching for her tablet to turn it on and hurry up and go, whoa. Hold on. Hi, remember me? You need to come over here and say hello to me, Nini, and, you know, Papa and Nini. Those are our names, Papa and Nini. And talk to us for a minute. You don't go directly to your tablet, okay? And she likes to watch certain things on YouTube. They do make things just for children, and that's what's all she has on there. Everything else is locked out. She's tried. I promise you, she's 7 years old. You guys know who Juniper is. She's tried, and she can't get into it. We regulate even with the kids stuff on the tablets, how much she's on there. She needs to do other things. Go read books, play with your toys, go outside, be a kid. Because I think that takes the childhood away. It takes their childhood away. Okay? And it's not fair to them because they don't know. They don't know what they're missing if they don't ever experience it. And that needs to be brought back into their lives. I'm sorry. Skinny, I'm not going to get into that because there's a lot of politics behind that. That's a choice thing. But I understand what you're saying. I do understand what you're saying. Thank you, Cox. It's real. I promise you it's real. For people that have been here for a while, they will tell you that everything I'm talking about, I feel very passionate about. There's none of this is a show. It's all real to me. So, just saying.
Here, raid, St. Cloud police allegedly found several hard drives with.
1 second here. Yeah, wait a minute. Did he do this again?
Out to Polk County, Florida.
Wow. Hold on a minute, guys. I think the one I showed you was from 4 hours ago. This man ain't playing.
Florida. And that is where we had Sheriff Grady Judd coming to talk about a major bust involved to Polk.
No, this was just an update from that big one I showed you guys. But my understanding is, yes, that he's still, like, all day, every day, this is what he's doing. Okay. Yeah. It's my TV, buddy. It's my TV in the back. But that's awesome. I love it. Just spent 5 minutes trying to figure out why your fish tank has a window in it. No, it's great. That's great, bud. I love it. But anyway, guys, so that's where I'm at with that. And every time you talk to me, I'm gonna be screaming about this, okay? I'm sorry if I've been loud. I'm sorry if I've started to yell. I am very passionate about this, okay? I always have been. I always will be. So if you don't want this or want this from me, it's gonna be expected. I'm just giving you a forewarning and an upfront that Diego's probably gonna bitch and complain about something today because that's what I do. When it comes to this, it's not gonna stop, folks, because this is me. Now I will go back moving forward into what we're supposed to be talking about. And I'm sorry that I got locked up in that, but I have to show you those when they come out. Because we have people like Stefan STEARNS that have 60 plus charges on him for doing this in a period of 2 to 3 to 4 years that he got away with it. And then we have mothers like Jen Soto that, I'm sorry, had to have known about this and just let it keep happening. I'm sorry. I just do not feel like she had no idea about this, guys. I can't agree to that. I can't. I can't. So moving forward. Now, the next part of this, as I explained before, is Sebastian Rogers, guys. Okay. You guys know that case has been really touchy for me. Really, really, really touchy. So, hold on. Let me make sure I have something right here. Give me a second. Bear with me, folks. Sorry. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was just reading something real quick. I thought that was brand new.
Now been 2 weeks.
Okay, guys, we're gonna go with the update on Sebastian. And I'm gonna share with you, like I said this morning, Cluminati put out an amazing video that really kind of opened my eyes a little more than they were. I have to say. We'll go with this first, though.
Now been 2 weeks since Sebastian Rogers was reported missing. Crews have searched high and low and followed every lead, but still no signs of the Hendersonville teen. So last night, the community came together for a prayer vigil. Dozens of people showed up wearing green, Sebastian's favorite color.
Sebastian's biological father, Seth Rogers, attended that candlelight vigil and for the first time spoke at length about his son's disappearance.
Nick is live from our 5 Alert Center this morning. And Nick, this is his first television interview, and it's with you.
That's right. You know, he's issued a few brief statements by phone, but the rest of the time he says he's been spent focusing on the search for his son, but now finally speaking out publicly on TV. 2 weeks after the teen disappeared, the father says he's not giving up hope.
I'm hoping he's still alive. You know, that's my main hope right now.
That is his focus. Seth Rogers wants to believe his son is still alive somewhere. He says he is in contact with law enforcement every single day. And like them, he says he is completely at a loss to explain exactly what happened to his son. It's a mystery. The working story, of course, is that Sebastian, who has autism, walked away from his Hendersonville home in the middle of the night, barefoot and alone. But Rogers says no. He says it makes absolutely no sense that search crews and bloodhounds have found no trace of the boy. And he says Sebastian was not the type of child who would just wander away like this on his own.
In order for him to actually do something that's out of the normal, something would have had to happen that he just felt that he couldn't deal with anymore.
What that is and how, no one really knows, and Seth Rogers can't explain that. But I can tell you, he doesn't like to think that this is a possibility, but he does not rule out the chance that there is foul play involved in what happened to his son. He knows that if his son could, he would, and is very able. He knows how to work a phone and communicate. He would reach out to the father for help. I can tell you, Seth went on to share a number of other new details, not only about the investigation, but personal details about his son, which may help in finding him. I'll have much more on this later this morning and tonight on News Channel 5 at 5 and 6.
All right, guys, that was from last night, and I'm going to show you the real deal. There's some things that came out that I didn't know. Okay, I didn't realize until this was. I know most of you guys have probably seen all of this. Okay, but it's still important to me. In a big way, because it tells a lot of things. Okay. Let me see here. Give me 1 second. Sorry, folks. Sorry. Give me 1 minute. We got it going in. It's loading in.
If you can.
All right. So, as many of you know, Seth, which is Sebastian's father, his biological father, called excuse me, called into the Pascal show last night. And it was very telling. Okay, very telling. I wanted to review that with you personally because this told me some things that I didn't know, guys. So again, this footage came from the Pascal show. I appreciate that he had this. Seth's father, I appreciate him calling in to any one of us and giving us his side of the things that he did. This is real, and this man shows the love that he has for his child. I wanted to share this with you all that may not have seen this. I know quite a few you did. Okay, but this was very moving and very telling. A lot, guys. So here we go.
Hey, you on the mic with the Pascal show. What's your name and where you calling from? Calling from Clarksville, Tennessee. My name is Seth Rogers.
Seth, first off, thank you so much for calling in. Let me just say that first off, thank you so much for calling in. How are you doing?
About as best as I can. My son's missing. And I wanted to tell you thank you because you're getting this out to more people. We've been passing flyers out. We've got all the way to Chattanooga. We've got billboards all the way up to Memphis.
Yeah.
We reached out to balls to see if we can get flyers out there to try to find him. And I want to tell you thank you. Everybody who helped me try to find my son, I appreciate it.
Of course. I mean, well, you know, of course, we are only here to bring your son back home. You know, of course, home to safety. You have a second. Of course, you called.
Don't worry, Molly. I'm pulling up that email after this. I promise.
And again, I know that you're really busy. What have you been up to all day today so far?
Listen,
can you give us like a little bit of a breakdown of what the day's
this.
been so far for you guys out there?
I've been out because it's me and some of his extended family that have been doing flyers and stuff. So I've been passing out flyers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
I've been going to businesses, passing out flyers. Everybody knows.
Hey, Jamie.
In my town, in Clarksville, everybody knows and everybody's seeing it. But tomorrow I have a trip planned. I've got 7 different locations I'm going to see if I can find anything that and put more flyers up.
Right on.
I'm going to the south side of Nashville tomorrow to put flyers up everywhere.
Yeah. No, I understand that. Have there been any leads, any leeway, any semblance of any type of hope in finding Sebastian in your search?
I always have hope. I always have hope. I always have hope. I got to have hope because I can't believe that he's dead.
Yeah. If you mind me,
I get up every morning and I hit the road. I
Yeah.
drive around, put flyers out, and I hope that I get to see him. I hope I get to make a left-hand turn and he's there, or I jump on the interstate and
Right.
he's walking himself to me.
Yeah.
I just keep praying.
Of course, and we're all praying with you. Trust me, brother. We are all praying with you. If you mind me asking, where were you when you got the phone call that he was missing?
Well, I just got off of work at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And I turned around and I got to my vehicle, got in there, and there was a text message from the stepfather. Call me, it's 911. And I called him and he told me that my son was missing.
Yeah.
And I left from there and drove straight to his mom's house. And I was there all day waiting for some type of information. I saw him bring the dogs in. I was sitting there watching police come in and out, ask questions.
Yeah.
And they asked those questions, of course. And they're, the first thing they did is, where were you? And I'm like, I've been at work for the last 12 hours.
Yeah.
They turned around, they took our phones, make sure that everything that we stated was verifiable.
Right. And he's not known, Sebastian's not known, as you said as well, he's not known to just go and wander off or to just run off the way that he did, correct?
Correct. He's never been one to do that sort of stuff.
So if you mind me asking this, and this is going to be I got a few tough questions to ask you. I know if you don't want to answer them, then that's totally fine. But when you went into the house, was there anything different or anything off maybe in the house when you were there?
No, I walked in the house. It seemed normal. Everything was clean. Everything was pristine like it normally is.
Like it normally is.
Except for his room.
I gotcha. Except for his room. Okay. Have they been out? Has the stepfathers, has the stepdad and the mom, have they been out searching at all, or have they just stayed home?
From my understanding, my talks with Chris and by their Katie, they've been out putting flyers and posters in the ground.
Okay. I do have another question, because you did make a statement. It was in an article. It wasn't, I don't know if it was in this video that we just watched, this interview, which, by the way, there's a longer version of this interview, right?
I haven't seen the interview. I mean, I was interviewed, but I haven't seen it yet.
Okay. But there is something that you said in the interview that was actually put into an article. said something about there was no scent. Okay, like the dogs weren't picking up a scent, but one dog followed a scent out into a construction site and then it disappeared. Could you maybe expand on that or explain a little bit more about that?
One of the dog handlers told me first day,
wow,
Monday, that the dog popped to a trail and they followed it and went all the way around and it ended in a construction site, but it ended. It's like there was nothing there.
Right. And that's a little odd.
Which
right?
Leads me to believe that, well, if it ends, normally this ends when you stop traveling on foot. From my understanding, that would mean that he got into a car.
If he got into a car, just so I understand the construction site itself, did the scent stop in the middle of the construction site or did it stop on the side of the road? Okay.
They didn't tell me.
Okay. Because I'm curious
because
how close. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm not, no problem. I'm not part of that sheriff's department, so
yeah.
They're not going to share information with me.
Of course.
On top of that, I'm emotionally attached.
Right.
So they don't want me involved in the investigation.
I gotcha.
So everything I do is pretty much on my own. If I go search somewhere, I'm under pretty much orders to turn around and call TBI and tell them where I'm going so that they know.
Yeah.
Because they know I'm searching by myself. And if I come up missing, they want to know where I was left at.
No kidding.
Because they don't want me coming up missing and my son being missing.
Right. So as far as a few things though, I know you live somewhere else, but you were still very tight. You're still very tight with Sebastian. So I'm curious, did he tell you of any issues at school? Did he have any, was he dealing with any type of bullies, enemies, anything like that at school?
Not that I am aware of. I am tight with my son. I moved from California to Tennessee so I could be close enough to go pick up my son.
No, good on you.
Get far enough that when I pick him up, I don't want to be in her backyard.
Right.
Because she's not my wife.
Understandable. Yeah. That's respectful. And I totally understand what you're saying. And that's good on you, my brother, for wanting to be in closer proximity to your son. I think that's very endearing. Real talk. Was there any
agree with that, Sherry,
online forums or anything of that sort? Did he game a lot? Could he have been online somewhere talking to people? Yeah.
He played games at my house. My PlayStation is pretty much locked down for my own sake, because I don't. If I don't know you,
right,
I don't want you popping in to talk to me. So it's like everybody on my PlayStation, they're on my friends list.
Yeah,
I know personally.
Gotcha.
So there's no way that he would have been talking to somebody without me knowing, because they're my friends. They're not his friends.
Yeah. No,
I mean, they would call me up and be like, your son's on your account, right? I'm like, yeah. I'm sitting next to him. He's in his recliner. I'm in my recliner.
Right, right. You guys are spending time together.
He's playing there.
Julian, it took me 6 years to get a diagnosis for my son for his autism, and he's just very high functioning, just on the spectrum. Okay, so it took 6 years to get to that, so it wasn't just a quick thing overnight, just so you know. I know there's probably other people that do say that, but this was a medical diagnosis from multiple doctors to get to that point for my son, with his ADHD diagnosis, which led to the spectrum diagnosis. Just letting you know that for my scenario.
And I'm on my phone playing Call of Duty, and he's on the PlayStation playing Modern Warfare.
Right on.
I mean, I know what he's doing because I'm right next to him.
Yeah.
Welcome, Paula.
So it's like any conversations or anything that he didn't have the headphones.
Right.
So, and it's a PS4, it's not a PS5, so it doesn't pick up your stuff through the remote or anything.
Yeah.
So it's like the only way he would have had contact with any of them is if he had headphones on, and I made him not wear headphones because you're not going to talk to random people.
Right.
You don't know who, and I explained to him, you don't know who these people are. They could tell you one thing, and they could be some guy that's like in his 50s or something looking for some kid.
Yeah. No kidding. Yeah. Those internet streets are dangerous, man. Those internet streets are dangerous. So let's talk about outside of the internet. Did he ever express any issues about his home environment at all?
Not at his mom. He never expressed anything about his mom and dad's stepfather's place.
Okay.
He liked the dogs. You know, he was supposed to come live with me at the end of school. Summer break, he was supposed to move in with me full time.
Oh wow. He was supposed to. Oh wow.
This is
Okay.
what I.
See that statement right there? That was something I didn't know, and that was very interesting to me. It's okay, Deborah. Never apologize for that. It's okay, Jillian. It's okay. Some people do say that. It's okay, but I had to go through a lot, and a lot of people that I know that have autistic children, they have to go through the same things I do. There are people that will just say, "My kid's autistic." I know what you're talking about. It's okay though. There's a lot that goes behind it, Jillian, and it's okay. I understand. But hearing that statement that he was supposed to move in with Seth, that was interesting to me, guys, because that was something else we didn't know initially. That wasn't something that the parents, the stepfather and Katie, Christopher and Katie, they didn't take that in their interview. We didn't know. That makes things a little different for me. Okay, that makes me see things in a different scenario a little bit. I don't know about you guys, but it does definitely me.
This is what both me and him have wanted for years.
Yeah.
And that's something else that when they're saying, when Steph says it's something that they both wanted, him and his son wanted for years. Think about it, folks. That's interesting in a lot of ways, guys.
Yeah. No, I understand that. And now you're out looking for him.
Now I gotta find it so he can come live with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand. Of course, I'm not trying to point any blame or anything of that sort. But the situation in which he just vanished into thin air is very suspicious in my personal opinion. What are your thoughts as far as him vanishing in the way that he did vanish?
I'm missing something. Like I've stated since day one, none of this makes sense.
Yeah.
There's something missing out of this puzzle, and I don't know what it is. And I hope that law enforcement has figured out the missing piece so that they can bring my.
What's the matter, Mikey? Did you miss something? Hold on a minute.
Right. I totally understand that. Has there been any?
It won't let me rewind
so far. Maybe a piece of a clue. Anything you said. I understand that there's pieces to this puzzle that are missing. But did
I don't know why it doesn't let me rewind it. Yeah, there is one case. I know that too. A custody case that he has going on with his ex, Christopher does. Oh, okay, Mikey, no problem, bud.
they happen to give you at least something that could be some semblance of a piece to a puzzle?
No, they're not including me in on. They tell me what they do, but they're not including me in on what they find.
I understand. I do understand. Especially with your with your experience, of course, being a police officer as well. I can only imagine. Deputy sheriff. With all due respect, my apologies.
Sorry. Well, I take my oath to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of Tennessee very, very dearly to my heart. As a deputy sheriff, that's what we're supposed to do. Make sure people don't infringe upon people's constitutional rights.
Yeah. I got a few more questions. What was the last time you had a conversation with Sebastian? How
Thursday.
It was Thursday. Okay. So you
Thursday
didn't
before he left.
Before he disappeared, or you mean before he left?
Yeah.
Okay. So
before he left.
Okay.
I mean, because he's gone.
Right.
I mean, he's gone.
Right.
He's left.
So
but
how
either
often?
left the house of his own free will, or he didn't. And if he went outside, I don't know what happened to him.
Absolutely. So then let me ask you this then. Did you guys correspond or at least make phone calls often? Like, was it a daily thing, or would it be sporadic every once in a while you get a chance to talk to Sebastian? I'm just curious about the rhythm here, because it seems like Thursday and then it just flatline, no communication whatsoever. So how often were you actually corresponding with your son?
I call him Thursday. I don't call him on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday because he's with his mom.
Right.
That way, when I have him Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, it's just a mutual thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, normally I would call him every day or every other day at about 3:30 because he would be home from school by then and either be working on his homework, or if he didn't have any homework, he was doing chores that his mom had him doing.
Gotcha.
And I would call him to ask him how school was. Normally we would talk for maybe 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah.
You know, and it was routine. Call him up. How was school? You know, did your mama leave you any chores?
Yeah.
You know,
so, but this was a Monday
Let's get them
through,
done.
but this was more of a Monday through Friday type of thing. But then the weekends you would leave him be to spend time with mom, correct?
I would pick him up on Fridays on my weekend. I would pick him up. I'd be waiting at their house when he got off the bus.
Ah, I see. But this weekend was not
So
your weekend, or this particular weekend was not your weekend, right?
No, that was his mama's weekend.
Gotcha. You know, wow. Okay, I do have to ask you this, and maybe you know, maybe you don't know. But when did Chris go to Memphis? Do you have any knowledge of that, when he actually left for that job on Monday?
Well, I don't think he left Monday. I think he'd already been there all week.
So he was out there all weekend. From what all week? Oh wow. Okay.
So that's another important part to this, guys. This is stating that Chris Proudfoot, the stepfather, had been in Memphis for a week before this happened. Okay. So that goes back to, if we go with the timeline, he couldn't have been in Memphis with Chris. And there's something else that's coming up here at the end that's going to kind of prove that Sebastian was seen with Katie on camera Sunday night. You're about to see this. That caught my attention real quick.
Okay, that's interesting. So he was gone all week.
I believe so.
You believe so? Okay.
Normally, I believe so, because normally if I have him,
yeah,
Sebastian's mom would go to Memphis if I had Sebastian over the weekend.
You hear that? So whenever it was Seth's weekend, Katie would go to Memphis with Christopher while he was working. Okay, so that's another dynamic we didn't know about. And Jillian, I bet you they absolutely are 100% absolutely beautiful and amazing. Right, Paula, I agree.
And she's going to go to Memphis.
I see. Okay. Interesting. So he could have been there for a while. Yeah. And then of course, Sebastian's mom is with him. She wakes up Monday morning, and he's gone. So there's that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday where he could have disappeared. That could have been time somewhere around that time, let's just say. I mean, you know.
My understanding, and we're going to go back and look at pieces of their interview again after this, because I want to show you guys some things. My understanding, Jillian, is that Christopher, the stepfather, came home when she called and said she couldn't find him sometime Monday. Okay, that's my thought. I don't know Licity, but I know that he did do chores, so that's possible. That's one thing that Seth does seem to be in support of, is chores, and I can see Christopher being that way too. And I have everything that biofathers say. I don't. Well, I do, Victoria, and I'll tell you why here in a few minutes.
Sebastian disappeared sometime Sunday night, Monday morning.
Sunday night, Monday morning. Okay. I apologize.
There's evidence, there's video proof of Sebastian with Katie Sunday evening.
Are there cameras in the house or around the actual house?
They went to dinner.
Gotcha. So they did go to dinner on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And there's actual video proof of that.
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Wow. Well, Seth, do you have anything that you want our listeners to know about the search, about Sebastian? Anything that can help in finding him?
I just ask people, keep your head up and your eyes open. If you see him, please call 911.
Yeah.
You know, if he's hungry, give him some food. If you see him outside your house, do not let him in your house. Call 911. Get him something to eat. Get him something to drink.
Can I ask?
I'm pretty sure he's starving.
Right. Do you mind me asking one more question? I know. I was just trying to wrap it up with you, but I got one last question. Because I know that he was on medication as well. Was there any possible medication that he took that could give him some sort of mental break or some sort of psychotic break where he would just wander off without shoes on in the middle of the night?
I have no idea. I've asked TBI and Sumner County to check to see if that is, and nothing.
And he's never done anything like this before, correct?
Cool. Yes, sir.
Okay. Not out of spite or out of anger, out of protest. He's never done anything like just leave or walk off or anything like that out of just being a teenager with angst, you know?
I love my son, and I love my son a lot. And I have thoroughly aggravated him at different points in times.
Of course.
Because I'm his dad.
I was going to say, you're not a dad if you're not doing that. You know what I mean?
And he has never once walked out my front door. No matter how mad I've made him.
Yeah.
You know, he has stormed off to his room. He has sat there and, I don't want to talk to you. And I'm like, well, you can get over it. I'm your dad.
Yeah.
And I'm going to talk to you whether you want to talk to me or not.
Yeah, absolutely.
You giving me an attitude? Go load the dishwasher.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. Absolutely.
Your attitude ain't going to stop the fact that you live in this house and there's things that need to be done.
Yeah.
You know, I've taught him don't let people get you mad or angry.
Yeah.
You know, that's you losing control and them having control over you.
Yeah.
You know, don't be like that. Be better than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
He you know, because I understand that he's autistic. I love him no matter what.
Yeah.
But I also understand that kids are cruel, especially in schools.
That they
are. We all deal with that. If you weren't the popular one, you could be made fun of or whatnot. And I wanted him to already have an understanding that those people that do that are just insecure. And they're wanting control or power over you. And you getting angry gives them that. But if you look at them and just smile and brush it off, because it ain't worth it. Their opinion is not worth it.
Kill them with kindness, right?
Or food, school food, either one.
I will say, Seth, I do appreciate you calling in and just because this was very impromptu, everybody. Okay. Let me just be completely honest. This was not planned. But I do appreciate you calling in. You know, I
watched your podcast. I watched your podcast earlier, and you said you'd be back on at 8:00.
Yes, sir.
And I watched your podcast a couple days ago because you're keeping my son's face out there. You're keeping his name out there. And the more that we could do that, the less likely it'll become a cold case.
Absolutely.
I saw it become a cold case. I'm going to get found.
We all want him found. I'm going to be honest. We just like Chelsea just said, we have an army behind you, sir. People are putting in a lot of green heart emojis in the chat right now. You know, people are really showing a lot of love. Discerning just said, we in Hendersonville are behind you, Seth. We are with you. That's what she said. There's a lot of people here that are praying for his safe and swift return. And yes, we will continue to say his name and we will continue to talk about Sebastian here until we find out what's going on, right? Until we get him home. And that's the most important part. And I commend you. I give you so much love and healing vibrations. And again, God bless you for stopping everything that you're doing and just being boots on the ground and going out there trying to find your son. That is commendable, my brother. And man, if I was with you right now, we'd be sharing a beer. I'm serious. And a big old hug. But I'm telling you right now, we're with you. All of us are with you and we're praying with you. Okay? So
I appreciate it. I really do.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, brother. Please, I'm going to try to find a way to keep in touch with you. All right? Because I do want to know what's going on. And again, we are all here. We're all on the same team. We are rooting for you. We just care about the truth. We care about transparency, and we care about justice, and we care about getting him home. So again, Seth, I appreciate you so much for calling in. It means the world to all of us. And a lot of us are showing a lot of love in the chat. All right.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Absolutely, brother. Absolutely. You have this number as well. Please don't be a stranger. Let us know what's going on. If you have time to give us updates every once in a while, we'd be more than honored to have you on here to let us know what's going down. Okay?
Thank you.
Of course. No, thank you. And I appreciate you. Okay. I know you probably need some sleep. It's probably been a long day. Go rest those feet. Go get properly hydrated. All right. And hopefully we will talk very, very soon with some good news. All right.
What I'm praying for. Thank you. Thank you again.
Anytime, brother. Talk to you soon.
Yes, sir.
All right. Bye.
That's rough, folks. I'm sorry. So that changes some things in some sense, okay? For me, it really does. So at this point, I feel that there's video proof that Sebastian was seen. Hey, Walt, what's up? April Wine, good to see you. Right, April. Some things changed. You know, the thoughts of some things have changed. And it made me wonder. I did not know that Seth was going to be going to, or I'm sorry, that Sebastian was going to be going to live with Seth. That's new for me. Okay. For all of us, I thought when to hear that was new, and I can see that being a problem. Okay, they didn't tell us that in their interview, did they? No, they didn't. Why did they leave that? Why did they leave that out, guys? Why did they leave that piece of information out of their interview? You know, if they're talking about Sebastian saying, you know, he was supposed to go to stay with his father soon, so on and so forth, why would you leave that out? I think that's a pertinent piece of info in this situation. I'm sure law enforcement knows that. Okay, I'm sure they would have to. And there's some there are some thoughts like that floating around now, Paula. At least in my mind, you know, you can say some things like that. Did this happen because, you know, I don't want my ex to have his son? Did this, you know, and some of these things are petty, folks. Some of these thoughts are petty. Could that be a reason? Is it, you know, is there child support being paid? And possibly Social Security, because of Sebastian could receive Social Security for his autism, folks. Is that something that would change hands, therefore, because Sebastian's moving in with Seth? Could that, I don't know what the financial situation is in that situation. People do crazy things for money sometimes. Could that have caused that situation? And I hate the could have things, okay? But there's got to be a reason and a rhyme behind this, folks. And I want this boy home. I want this kid in his father's hands, okay? This father deserves to have that relationship with his son. There's not many fathers that you'll see that have that relationship, that want to put that time in with their son. I'm not saying fathers don't do that. I had full custody of my kids from my first marriage, okay? It needs to be, I mean, it needs to be seen for what it is, okay? Maybe, and that's a good point there, Paula. Okay, that's a good point. I'm not saying that that's what it is, but she was mad at Sebastian because he wanted to go live with his father, and upset that she was getting those possible payments, and that the father, mad at the father too. Now, we all know that first interview we watched, Christopher, the stepfather, stated that kind of made them out to be a unit, meaning the stepfather, the mother, and the biological father were all one unit that worked together. That's not the case, guys, based on what we just heard, what we've heard from both of the interviews from Seth. That's exactly my point, April. That's a good point, Felicity. The thing is we need to look at everything with this to see it for what it is. These things are new, like I said. Hold on a minute here. That's awesome, Felicity. Thank you. Let me do this real quick. I gotta check because I promised Molly I would, and I don't want to forget it. Because I have a tendency to forget things when I'm not thinking about things. Here, real fast. Oh, okay, Molly. Right. I'll hit these right towards the end of the show. I'm glad you sent me these because I heard about these. These things. This is crazy. Let me see here.
We're on a constant roller coaster ride. Helpless.
One moment here.
Night, the parents have.
Hearing what we heard from Seth, his biological father, going back and watching this, or even just some of this, okay?
To be okay. I don't know where he's at.
Mom Katie broke down several times in our interview, but says her hope is strong that her son Sebastian will be found safe and return home.
He's going to walk through that door, and the street will be flooded again with family and relatives all waiting to hug and love him. And
Stepdad Chris says it's been an emotional roller coaster that all started Sunday night, February 25th.
Pretty normal. He was playing in his room. When I told him to go to bed, he did. He said, "Good night, Mom. I love you."
Katie says.
Now, it's known that they went to dinner, just him and Katie. They were seen on video, which proves that he was there Sunday night, at least at the restaurant with Mom, okay? Now, she claims that they go home. She tells him to go to bed. He goes to bed. And somewhere between midnight and 6 a.m., he takes a flashlight in black sweatpants with a long sleeve black shirt with a print on the front of it, no shoes, and leaves. I showed you guys the bloodhound that was searching in front of the house in the yard and all that, and how that went down. And then we hear that a bloodhound or a dog picked up the scent. I think Clue told me it's about 100 yards from his house where this construction site is, literally 100 yards and a 2-minute walk for a 15-year-old boy to get to that. Okay. It took 2 minutes if he were to walk, but then it's weird because the scent picks up there and stops at the same place as if he were carried there and then removed, or was driven there, got out of a car and got back into a car. Almost like, okay, here's my thing on this. Like he was driven to the site or carried, okay, the 2 blocks or whatever it is, 100 yards, drove to the site and then steps out of a vehicle possibly, which will give a scent for just a few seconds, and moved to another car, gets in that car and leaves. That kind of a scenario would explain the picking up the scent for a few seconds and then it's gone again. Does anybody else go with this? Agree with me? Think the same thing? I mean, come on, guys. By the way, you guys are welcome to pop up here with me if you'd like to conversate with me about this, because I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Honest to God, I want everybody's thoughts on this. This case is probably the most grueling case that I'm on right now, that's bothering me the most. Okay. It is. That's what I'm saying. To hit that to have the scent picked up at that construction site, the only thing that I can think of is getting in a car, driving to that site. You're not going to have the scent all the way there. Getting out of that car once you get there, and then transferring to something else to give that little bit of time for that smell. No, that's the thing, is the scent didn't go from the house to the construction site. It only picked up once they got to the construction site, just for a little bit, and then it disappeared again. And yes, the scent could have been something of his. I agree. I don't know anything about that, Eagle. All I know is that he was picked up on video with Katie at that restaurant and seen, and then after that, that's it. So I don't know. I've seen multiple people say that maybe he didn't make it home from the restaurant that night. Where did he go then? Did she take him somewhere else? You know, I don't like being accusatory, but at this point, there's not one sign of this kid anywhere. Nowhere. None of the cameras in this neighborhood or anywhere else around have picked him up anywhere. This doesn't make any sense, but these little things that we're learning can help this make a little more sense. Actually, I can see them arguing, and she told him she would take him to dad. They kept arguing. She pulled over at sight. He got out, and she made him get back in. Possible. Yeah, that makes some sense. That does make some sense. She states that she tells him to go to bed, and then he does. You know, that's what she's stating. So let's go on a little bit further with this here. Hold on.
She went to wake up Sebastian around 6 a.m. Monday for school, and he was gone. Within minutes, Katie says she was on the phone with Chris, who was working at...
Well, she's rocking. Is that nerves? Is that guilt? The tears. Is it guilt? Is it nerves? What is it, guys?
out of town, and they quickly called 911.
He's not a runner. He's never run away before. I don't know why. I don't.
I said last night, this part here, when she gets to this part, she has to stop because she almost can't speak. When she goes to say, I don't know why he walked out that door. That's either, like I said, guys, I'm going two directions with this, one or two, just to be simple. It's either guilt or fear. And fear of the unknown as to where her child is, or guilt because she does know something, is the way I'm taking the tears and the emotions that she's having. One of those two things. That's all I can say.
I don't know why he walked out that door.
I mean, he's a good kid. He's not a mischievous child by any means.
Katie and Chris say Sebastian is not on social media. While he loves to play Minecraft.
And somebody brought it to my attention. If Chris was gone for a week, first day, okay, he may not know a lot of what was going on, what went on. Now, understand something, you guys. Autistic children are very special, very smart, but they are very hard to deal with in some ways, especially teenagers. I have one in there, okay? Very hard to deal with in some senses. Amazing children, amazing. This is my best friend back here. I wouldn't trade him for the world, okay? But we go round and round. It's difficult. He has his own thinking. He wants things a certain way. It is what it is. It can be very hard. And it came, thinking about this, if Chris is going out of town a lot, working his job, so on and so forth, that leaves Katie at home a lot with him, with Sebastian. And he's 15 now. When he turned 15, something probably changed. It wasn't as easy to handle him because he wasn't the sweet little boy anymore. He became a teenager as well as an autistic child. That makes things way different, folks. And I can promise you from experience, I know this. That's why this case is so harsh on me, because I have this same child living in my home. He's just 2 years older. Okay. This has not been a circus. This has not been a joy dealing with my child because he's gotten very hard to deal with in some ways. He knows that. But you still do it, okay? You still make it happen because that's what has to be done. And if Sebastian changed now, because I saw somebody say, well, why now all these years she's had him all this time and now all of a sudden, no, because he changed. You guys all know that has anybody that in here that has a child that's a male, that's a boy. I had 5 folks. That it is very difficult in some senses because boys think that they're men at this age and they want to be in charge of themselves. They want things their way. They still have to follow rules. They still have to do certain things. Maybe she couldn't handle this anymore. Okay. Maybe it just became to be a lot to her. At some point in their life, I do feel that boys need their fathers. They need to have their fathers in their lives to give them that strength. I was lucky. My sons lived with me and they didn't want to stay with their mother. Sadly, I hate to say that, but it's a fact. Okay. And they tell me to this day they're grateful that they lived with me. Not that they didn't need their mother because they did have her, but I think boys need their fathers to teach them things that a mother can't. You know, I know there's a lot of single mothers out there that are amazing, amazing women that do this because there are fathers that aren't around. Okay. But, you know, maybe she just got burnt out. She did a lot of this on her own. Okay. I'm just saying. And it's not easy. I know it's not easy. You know, I struggle and I'm a father. We go head to head a lot, guys, because you know, it's rough. Now, there are people that can handle this. That's it, but there's some people that mentally just can't. And here's the thing, guys. I was thinking about this, and this is just an assumption, a possible assumption and an opinion. But autism is hereditary, okay? And so is ADHD and all that stuff. And I have that, which is where that came from for him. And his mother has ADHD very bad as well. So, you know, there's a grand possibility that the mother has some form of this as well. Okay. And maybe that's one of the reasons why she's not dealing with this so well because she doesn't know how to. This seems to be the only child. There's no experience for this. Okay. Um, exactly. She's right, guys. Very hard is the hardest thing I've ever done in my life is to raise this child at 17 years old. I wouldn't trade it for the world, but it is very hard. Welcome back, JC. Good to see you. And that's it right there. Things change for boys when they hit teenage years, and it gets gross, guys. It gets gross and dirty and hygiene issues and all sorts of weird things that mothers don't want to deal with that all the time, especially when you have an autistic child. She's alone a lot with him. Think about that. A lot. She's alone a lot with him. Some people can only take so much, folks. Some people can only take so much. I see this interview in a different way than I did before. I do. Things are different to me now when you learn certain things. You know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. That's another big deal, Felicity. But how does she know? That's another thing that I can't get out of my head. I agree with that one, Carrie. Some people should never be parents. Fact. um, how do you know what this child walked out of the house wearing? First of all, for sure, carrying the flashlight, and you know, how do you know that for a fact? That's a problem for me because you were sleeping. It is a game changer, Mikey. It changes a lot of things. And knowing the fact that he was supposed to go live with Seth permanently, that changed everything up inside my head right there, folks. That completely flip-flopped this for me. There could be multiple reasons why that's a problem for the mother. and or the stepfather. There was also something I heard. Now, I don't know how true this is. I'm going to have to go find this because I don't think it's true. So I'm going to go dig it and try to see if I can find it. But I heard something in Cluminati's channel this morning about somebody stated, it wasn't her, but somebody stated something about Christopher has a child that may be coming to live there. That's a game changer too. I don't know anything about his child other than the fact that he has had a custody battle going on with his ex. And there was some issues involved in that it regarded domestic violence and things like that I heard. Yes, Brady, we're all here for you. With Matthew, it takes a village sometimes, and we got your back. All of us. We all got your back with Matthew, and you know that. Yes, absolutely, Liz. So that's what I said, Victoria. I need to find out for sure. There is a custody battle. That documents that show that, but the fact that he may be having his child come live there, that's what I don't know. I saw that in another stream, and I need to go look for that to find if it's actually a truth or if it's just somebody making a statement. You know what I mean? So that's why I don't like to say things like that or have things talked about like that until we can get proof, guys. So if you see it and you can find it in a document somewhere that it's true, show it to me. I'm going to look for it myself too. So so at this point, you guys, I have some issues with this now. You know, I was standing here saying, you know, that the mother's getting to me because of her tears and this and that. I also did last night tell you guys that those could be, hey, see through, good to see you. Sorry. Those could be, you know, that could be guilt coming through as well, folks, because she knows something and she feels horrible about it. And like I said, Christopher could have no idea about any of this. He wasn't around. I don't know. I don't know. You better be nice to Matthew. He is a sweetheart. Leave him alone. Or you're going to get me calling you a Lumuk. You leave our Matthew alone. So I have questions now, guys. I have big time questions now.
They tell me he does not have any online capabilities. I asked if there was any reason he might want to leave.
We've been combing over that day and even the weeks before he left, and I hadn't been able to figure it out. He's that morning he was laughing, he was joking.
It's as if Sebastian vanished. No sign.
And that's the other thing is I got record that he has a cell phone. It was just left at home.
Of him on any video throughout the community. Thousands of miles logged by law enforcement, canines, helicopters, even dive teams, and no sign of him. Chris and Katie tell me they've been harassed, people pointing fingers at them.
You're not in this situation. You don't quite understand. I wish people would step back, take a different wide open view, and not assume what they know.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying, guys. We can sit here and listen to him say this, but here's the thing. If Chris was not there for a week, he does not know what went on in this house for sure that week he was gone. He knows what she's told him, okay? And I'm not saying that there is something nefarious going on, okay? But we don't know. We don't know. This face right here could mean a multitude of different things, okay? I don't know if that's a man bun or just a ponytail or just, I think it might be one of those, what is that? Business in the front, party in the back, that old school stuff. It could be, I can't remember what that's called. I don't know, guys. Something is, the stepfather was in Memphis for a week before this happened. You know what I mean? Well, it probably is dark in that area, but these houses, I showed you guys the neighborhood the other night. the houses around there, they all have spotlights and mercury lights and stuff on these houses. A mullet. Thank you, Tomboy. They have lights all around these houses. So you going out of that house at nighttime, there's going to be lights somewhere. There's cameras all over this place, I guarantee you. And none of them picked it up. There's something's wrong with that. Okay. That's just not right. Like I said, if this man was out of town for a week, he could be oblivious to everything. And I'm not trying to say wholeheartedly at this point that she's guilty of something, but we just don't know. That's the thing. We don't know. And she could be telling him something could have happened, guys. And that's what this is about, is that this is guilt. She knows that. Okay.
It's just better to stick to the facts.
Are you both in the clear?
I can tell you that mom, myself, and the father have worked very fully and cooperatively with all agencies across the board. We have anything that they've wanted, we have provided.
What do you
And that's another question I have. Why did she not contact Seth herself? Why did Christopher have to contact Seth? That's not his child. That's really not his business. Okay. So why did he call him and say 911, call me? Why didn't she do that? That's an issue for me. That's a little weird. I'm sorry. Something is really off for that, for me. Okay. I want you to hear this too, because this question that was asked was not clearly answered, in my opinion.
Have worked very fully you and not assume what they know. It's just better to stick to the facts.
are you both in the clear?
I can tell you that mom, myself, and the father have worked very fully and cooperatively with all agencies across the board.
That is not the answer to her question. Yes or no. Or I don't know. But that's not the answer, folks. That's not the answer, what he just said. So that was weird to me as well.
We have anything that they've wanted, we have provided.
What do you want to say to Sebastian? What do you want him to hear from you right now?
That we love you so much and we want you to come home and you're not in trouble.
You're not in trouble. That's another thing I've had issue with too. I don't know why she's saying that. It could just be that for whatever reason, she thinks he would think he's in trouble. But there's some things in here that the more I watch this interview, the more things stick out to me, is all I'm saying. I would imagine NFT, that most everybody does now, especially in a neighborhood like they live in. I mean, I would imagine. Not assume what they know. It seems like a slip. Maybe, Virginia. Maybe. And it seems to be that that's the case, Danielle. I thought the stepfather usually was the one that would communicate with the father regarding Sebastian, but that's how it seems to be. And I don't, why is that? Is that because she doesn't want anything to do with him? Or is it because he doesn't want her to have anything to do with him? Is it a control thing? Which way does that go? Because when me and my wife got together, she had her 3 children. They have a father. I had my 3 children. I'm their father. My wife never contacted my ex about my kids for any reason. Never. And I never contacted her ex. Okay. It just wasn't a thing, I've never seen that before. That's weird. Very weird to me. And that's what I'm saying, guys. That's neighborhood. I showed you guys yesterday the neighborhood and the houses. This is not a low rate neighborhood. This is a very high end area with very, very high end properties. Every one of these houses probably has a Ring camera, folks. And that towel was not picked up on one of them. Something's wrong with that. Sorry, that just doesn't make no sense. Hold on, guys. The boss is calling me for something. 1 second. She's short. She couldn't reach something, so she needed me for something.
Excuse me. Whoa. That door.
What did he do?
He unraveled my crafting chair.
Where was it?
He ate it.
Milo, you don't do that. That's bad. Go lay down. Getting into stuff. Anyway, sorry about that. Yeah, I agree with you on that, Sherry, for sure. Hey, Michael, good to see you, sir. So, there's some thoughts on that. Hold on a minute here. Let me set something up here for you guys real quick. Because you guys must think I stink or something. Jeez. Hold on. What am I doing? All right, then I'm going to open up the phone lines for everybody to, if you want to call in and talk about this, I'd love to hear your thoughts on this, guys. 234-703-4047. Give me a call. Let's talk about it, guys. We got some time left. Let's talk about this. Of course, there's a link to that I put. Oh, you know what? Hold on a minute here. Hold on. Let me fix something before I do that. I'm going to pin the link in the chat if there is anybody that would like to join me up here and talk about this. Give me a second to pin it. Oh, shoot. Hold on. One minute, please. All right. That is pinned in the chat. Now, let me get this back up here real fast. That was definitely not it. All right, let's do this, folks. Phone lines are open. Give me a call if you want to talk about this. There is a link pinned in chat. If you want to join me up here to talk about this, let's do it, folks. Let's talk about it. I'd love to hear your thoughts, your opinions, your feelings on this. Come on. We need to bring Sebastian home. Absolutely. Don't leave me hanging by myself, guys. Please, please, please. Oh, yeah, I got the old-fashioned ringtone. It's loud and obnoxious, too. It's kind of actually aggravating sometimes. Anybody? No problem, Felicity. Come on now, guys. Either somebody grab the link and jump up here, or give me a call. Let me hear what's going on with in your mind with this. No, I didn't do that, Doodle. That was not me. I think she did used to work for a security company. I don't think she does anymore. I think she's a stay-at-home mom now. Yes, Doodle, you could jump up here. You've been up here a couple times before. You're welcome to join me up here too. You know you don't have to show your face, of course. None of you guys do. Oh, we got a call coming in.
Call from Michelle Apple.
Hello, Michelle. Can you hear me?
Well, hi, Dago. Yes, I can. How are you?
How are you? I'm wonderful. Thanks for calling in.
Well, you're welcome. There were just a couple things. I don't know if I heard it right on the interviews you showed and then what I saw on the news, but if this is what I heard, I find it very strange. You know, they said, well, Sebastian likes to stay real clean and doesn't like dirt on his hands or anything. But she had stated when she went in to wake him up, she was gone. But then she also stated when she got up and saw all his shoes there, she instantly knew he was gone.
Right, because he's barefoot. And for a child that doesn't like to get dirty like mine, I can't imagine him going outside with shoes on.
Well, right. But she said she saw all his shoes. And instantly she knew he was gone. What if your kids, well, all mine are grown up and married, but if I saw all my kids were, you know, shoes were at home, I wouldn't automatically think, oh my God, they're gone.
No, I can agree with that. Yeah, that may.
Yeah, but is that right? That was one of her statements as well. Did I hear that right?
Yes, you did. I think she just put that together with something else. Hold on. I see you, Erica. You can close down your camera if you want to. You don't have to leave it open now. I'm going to pull you up. There we go. Welcome, Erica. Thank you for joining me. Go ahead, Michelle.
And the other question, they both stay at home, right? I don't want to get it mixed up with Maddie's mom and Stefan, but did they both, the stepfather and her, state, well, we just stay here to wait for him to see if he comes home?
That's my understanding. I think the stepfather,
Okay.
yeah, they haven't gone out looking, my understanding.
They did or did not?
They have not, from my understanding.
No, and this is what bothers me, why I wanted to call in. If it was me and my husband, we would either have a good friend stay at the house, we'd have our butts out there looking, or if they didn't have people to come in, he would stay home, I would go out and search, I would come back home, and then he would go out and search. I see no reason why two parents have to stay home and wait. I've never seen that in any search for any children that have missed, that both parents stay home.
I agree wholeheartedly. That should have been, and they should be out looking right now. As they're doing these interviews, they should be out looking every single day. And my understanding is that they have not been.
No, and why do both need to stay home? Why not take turns?
Well, there's no reason that any of them need to stay home. They should both be out looking if they care. That's
That's what bothers me about this. And I didn't know, because I haven't seen it on your show, but I did miss some because we went to see my dad. But shoot, what was it? It was important. Did you get to see, I put in chat the other day that the real father did a phone interview, and he said when the questions were asked him over the phone, and it just showed a picture of him. And the reporter lady asked him, you know, do you talk to your ex-wife and the stepfather, I don't know their names, every day, you know, or a lot? And he said no, just when it comes to Sebastian.
Right.
And
I
found that odd, because the stepfather says, oh, we're all three of us are like, you know, great friends. I sit and I chat with them on the phone. And so he lied, that stepdad. I don't see the real father lying, that he does not talk to them daily or as much as the guy stated.
Right.
Because he said no, not very much.
I agree
the
with that.
stepfather said.
I brought attention to that earlier too, because the initial interview we saw with the parents, the stepfather did say that, and then the biological father led to the point of stating that they don't have any kind of communication other than when they have.
Right.
So yes.
And that bothers me about that. And I didn't know, because my dad is passing away, so I've missed some of your lives. So we drive over to see him in Eustis, Florida, and we live in Sarasota. So I'm glad you showed that. How do you feel about that, about both at home and what the stepdad said, again, you know, from the biological dad?
I am I'm very uncomfortable with that at this point. It makes me feel quite a bit different than I did before. There's something's not right about that. If this was like my children, I have stepchildren as well. Okay. I don't call them that, but I do.
Oh, well, great. I'm so happy for you.
Right.
I saw your beautiful, was it your granddaughter with the red hair?
Oh yeah. That's my,
she is beautiful, Dago.
Thank you so much. She's my heart. But
I can bet.
My wife had 3 children when we got together, okay? And if any
Oh,
one
how
of them,
sweet.
God forbid anything ever happened to them, and I had to do, we'd both be out looking nonstop. That's the thing I don't understand.
Exactly. And you know how some of them will say, well, you know, one might say, well, I'm staying here, a mother, in a short period of time, and waiting to see if she walks in the door. Well, you know, and the other one was out searching. But this is very odd that they both feel they need to stay home from day one.
Right. No, I understand.
You know?
Absolutely.
So, and it to me makes me think he was carried out of the house. That he did not, Stefan did not go out on his own.
That's my thought. Somebody else made a statement that maybe, you know, he was seen on camera with his mother at dinner, and somebody else made a statement in here. You know, again, I don't know how true it is, but did he ever make it home that night with her to the home? You know, we don't know, because there's no way to prove that. So that was an interesting statement to me as well. Something is going on here that's not being talked about. Just like Seth, the father, said, there's a piece of this. There's a piece to this puzzle that's missing, and he doesn't know what it is. So
yes, and another thing that bothered me is the stepfather continuously saying, "Oh, I'm strict." You know, I mean, trust me, I'm very, very strict. He doesn't play the games. He's this, he's that. But then the real father, he's shredded to pieces. More emotions from him than either of those two. But anyway, the father, you know, is like, well, Sebastian's my life, and said that, oh, they have fun. They play games together, you know. Well, you know, the stepfather kind of said the opposite, that he'll play games, just Stefan. But, not Stefan, I'm sorry, Sebastian. But the biological father talked more like, you know, they do things together, and on the phone doesn't say, oh, I'm strict. I didn't like that guy going on about how strict he is. Oh, trust me, I'm very, what do you say, demanding, and that bothered me. Why would you bring that up of how, you know, why are you that hard on the boy? He's got a little autism. I mean,
I think he was trying to prove that he didn't allow, he was strict about the social media stuff. He didn't allow him to get on there because of how dangerous it could be. I think that's what.
And you know what? Yeah, and I won't keep it long. You're going to have other callers, but I'll tell you, it was me, just like Maddie's mom was so concerned what people said, and put a beautiful picture of her lipstick and a big smile on that new page, and changed her name. But oh shoot, it was important. What was my train of thought? Doggone it! I hate that when I do that to myself. Do you do that too?
I do it every day when I'm on here with you guys. It happens to me constantly.
You're great. What was it about it? Oh, it was important. I don't know. I completely went out of my mind, but it was something
I'll come
else.
back to you.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
But oh, I know that they never went out and looked either as a couple. Stefan and
Big Ohio Al said that he heard the father say, and I think he's right, that they have been out looking and passed out flyers.
Okay.
That's maybe what they've told him, or that's what he knows. I don't know. I missed that part. So that, if I did,
Yeah.
that's my fault. I don't know.
Yeah, but my heart goes out, and it goes out for you because, you explained why and how hard this one is for you. And I mean, they all are.
Absolutely.
But this you really connect your love to,
I do,
like
and
you do with everyone.
it's definitely.
And I'm praying for you.
Well,
I'm
thank
praying
you.
for you.
I appreciate that, but guys, please direct your prayers to the family and the child.
Yes, I am doing all that too.
Yeah, I appreciate
all
that so very much, Michelle.
And law enforcement that they find them.
Yeah.
But I just wanted you to know I'm praying for you too.
I thank you so
So,
much. I do.
You're welcome. Okay, thank you, Dago.
Take care, hon. Thank you for calling in.
You too. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Later.
Welcome, JC. Erica, how are you today?
Hi. Hello, Dago.
Good. So what are you
It's
guys
good.
thinking? What are you guys thinking?
Well, can I go next?
Yeah, go ahead. You've been up here.
Okay. Thank you. I was here first. No.
Okay.
Well, okay. So I come from experience. He's 26 now, an autistic son. And I believe that what you're talking about, it being hereditary. And I'm just starting to figure that out more and more. But yes, his dad, who is now passed, it was my ex, he was a lot like his father, okay? And I understand how and why. His father was undiagnosed, passive aggressive, narcissistic, but he was also autistic. So, these things are coming out. He has his dad had other children, and one of the sons was diagnosed with autism. And so, there's a spectrum. I mean, there's a whole bunch of different types of autistic that my son might be. But the thing is, we had trouble, big trouble with this child.
Right.
He's an adult now, but you understand, I mean, for school, and he was diagnosed with ADHD when he was younger, okay? So he was a squirmy little guy. I mean, I couldn't catch him. He was just like, I put in your chat that his nickname was Little Effer, and that's messed up. I'm sorry, but he was. And so only thing I'm saying, and that was just between my ex and me, okay? Because he was very, 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 very hard. And in school, we were always in school. We were always in conferences. We were always trying to keep him on track to graduate. We were always just doing the best that we could for them. We'd have to sit down and work on homework with them for hours every day. I just can't believe that we got him through. He wouldn't keep an agenda. I mean, we got counseling on and on and on. Okay. So
right.
What the bottom line is, I can see somebody getting out of control. Okay. I can. And this is the other thing. They wouldn't listen to me when I was by myself with them at all. Like they were, I
Right.
have 3, okay, and they were all young. I mean, I have a daughter who's 28, a son who's 26, and a son who's 24 now. So they were at one point we had all 3 in high school. Okay, so but when they were all young, okay, my 2 boys, they would just like get at each other because at one point I wanted to put them in separate cages. I mean, this is sad, but it's true. And so, and then when I'm by myself, oh, that was terrible. Okay, so I kept calling my dad because I had it was domestic violence. I was going through a separation. I had to call my dad, for heaven's sakes, to talk to the boys, to get them to even get in the car. Or, okay, I'm just like going off because I'm so passionate. I believe that the boys got violent practically close to me. They almost got violent with me. So I could see where perhaps maybe the boy got violent with somebody, and maybe I don't know. I don't know who was with him last or what exactly happened, but I'm seeing some kind of altercation. Something that was like a fight, or maybe he hurt somebody and somebody hit back and it was hit too hard, and maybe yeah. So I don't
Possible.
but I
Listen,
just know that you can,
she's absolutely right. Listen, Caden, there's different variations in autism, okay?
Yeah.
So Caden has never been the violent type. He's never been
Yeah.
the lashing out type. He just has like his frustrations he would put inside himself and then blow up every now and again.
Yeah.
But
Right.
it's still there. The frustrations are still there because he can't understand why he can't achieve certain things. And that's
Yeah.
where, as a parent, I had to learn how to work through that with him to make him understand why. And his anxiety level would go through the roof because he doesn't get it. Like in school, he can sit through a class in school and learn everything he's learning right there in front of him, and then walk out of that classroom and it's gone like that because there's no he doesn't comprehend it. So that's part of this.
It doesn't register.
There's no absorption of that, and it takes a long
Yeah.
time through that. So
And let me clarify real quick. The only reason I said something about cages was because the 2 boys wanted to kill each other. Okay, that's all. I mean, I would never.
I know it was just a figure of expression. I understand.
Okay,
It's
thank you, because that is really wrong, and I would never ever do that.
No, I
I'm
know
sorry
that. A
I
lot
just
of
said
people
that, but
I get it. It's all right.
You can think it. You can
Yeah,
definitely
absolutely.
think
I'm
it.
sure a lot of parents have thought things, I'd love to have you guys separated in 2 different cages to keep you away from each other. I get what you're saying. You know what I mean? But there's a lot to this that people just don't get, saying it's not that easy, it's not that big of a deal, just be a parent. Guys, it's the hardest thing I've ever done in my life. I raised 7 kids. Out of 7 children that I raised,
it
was the absolute hardest thing I've ever done. It still is. It's a daily job, okay? But again, I wouldn't trade it for my life. I wouldn't, because this child was given to me by God for a reason. That's the way I look at this, okay? And I am not going to fail that. I refuse to fail that. And I will be the best possible parent that I can for him. Granted, I've had to have help with medication, with doctors, with different scenarios, but it's working. It has worked for him little by little. And he's never going to be the president of the United States academically, because it just doesn't work. But this child, as most of you know, is going to be something different because of his talents. Okay. And that's okay with me. That's okay. That's okay with him. And you just have to be able to teach and learn and learn how to deal with it. And like I said, it's possible because I've been frustrated as a male parent.
Yeah, well, keep them busy. Put them in Boy Scouts. I mean, that's what I did. Baseball if you can, and if you can't afford it, then you get a go to a program, or you can help. Someone pay for it. But anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, it's okay. You keep them busy. You keep them because their minds are so the way it was described to me when I first figured it out. Because I have the same thing. I was just never diagnosed because when we were kids, we were just bad. That's all. You know what I mean?
I know.
It's like having 72 different TVs in your mind that are all playing something different at the same time. And that's what's going on. You can't make a decision. You can't make a choice. You can't do this. You can't do that because it's all happening at one time. And that is that's how I understood it. Okay, and that's what he has explained to me when he's frustrated or anxious, and it's like, tell me what's going on, bud. I can't. And it's like, well, what are you feeling? I don't know. And it's like, okay, then let's do this. And we try to go through different spouts of it, and it works, but not everybody can deal with it like that. Okay.
They're overstimulated.
Very much so.
Okay.
Very, very much so. It's too much. It's too many things happening. And if you add something to that, it makes it worse.
Yeah.
So, so that's what I think as far as that's concerned. But I appreciate your input on that, Erica, very much. Very, very much.
Thank you.
So what do you think about what's going on right now, JC?
I guess I'm really not sure what's going on. Has there been new updates?
Nothing other than the interview with the biological father. That's about it. Thank you.
I haven't seen that, but I was just gonna I mean, I don't want to take anything away from Sebastian or anything like that. However, we here in Omaha do have an ongoing case of an autistic child that was 11 years old that went missing at lunchtime at school one day and has never been found since. And that was in 2019. No, I don't remember when it was, but it was a few years ago. Now.
Right.
Coming up on like 3 years. And
when I heard about this, that's one thing that does happen is autistic children, they do have a tendency to walk away sometimes.
Yes.
So,
yes.
But it depends on the functionality of their scenario. Thank you again.
So since a couple years has passed, his mother wanted. Okay, so this happened in like it's Omaha, but it's a suburb of Omaha. It's in La Vista, and the mom last year wanted to declare him deceased. Well, you can't declare someone in the state of Nebraska deceased until they've been missing for like 5 years or something.
Right.
And it's only been 2. But she wanted to declare him deceased so that she could file a wrongful death situation against the school.
So
and
she would rather file a wrongful death suit against the school to collect money than possibly find her child.
And that's very suspicious to me.
I agree.
I didn't think anything about, I was like, oh no, I don't think, the mom had anything to do with it, blah, blah, blah. But now that she's done that, that's like very suspicious.
I can agree. I mean, it seems pretty.
And he's, never been found, was last seen walking away from school. It's like he just vanished. I don't know about, it kind of seems like Sebastian's the same way.
I think Sebastian is a little more high functioning, though. I don't know the story of the child that you're talking about, but
he was only 11.
Okay, and well, functioning wise, I mean, like, there are, even if you're even younger, like, there are some autistic children that can't speak, okay,
right?
Can't articulate or anything, and Sebastian is definitely very high functioning. Like Caden, my son, you'd never know he was autistic unless I told you. So,
and I think I don't know if Ryan was nonverbal. I don't know. I'm not sure.
They do have a tendency to want to escape. I forget what that's called, but it's an escape. Well, because I also to keep my 4-year-old autistic boy, and they told me that he always tries to escape, and because I'm also a caregiver, and so I was taking care. He didn't speak. So like 3 years later, and he's still, you know what I mean? Anyway,
No, I get it. I get it.
He figured out how to unlock the door himself, and he got out. And they were blaming me, and I was like, "Oh no!" But anyway, he has escape issues, you know, and so
a lot of they feel boxed in because they need to be able to like have that reach. Caden was 3 years old. Caden was 3 years old, and his mom was out exercising with one of her friends walking, right?
Yeah.
And we had to watch everything that he did. We had to watch him because he would try to go out the doors, this, that, and everything else. I had to go to the bathroom one time, and I took him upstairs with me, and I was in the bathroom. His bedroom was directly across from the bathroom door, right here.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I could see him. This is ridiculous. I'm explaining this, but this is what I'm telling you how bad it was.
Good.
I put him in his room. I went in the bathroom and left the door open to both rooms so I could see him leave his room if he tried to, and I could catch him.
Okay.
I don't know how he got past me, but he got past me down the stairs. I was only in the bathroom for literally like 3 minutes.
2 minutes. Yeah.
And I went through the whole house and he's not there. I called my wife. I said, I can't find him. I have no idea. So I happened to glance in my living room and one of my front windows was open about that much. He went out. He was in a diaper. He was that. No, he wasn't 3. How old was he when he did that, hon?
11.
When he came out the window and went to tried to go to your mom's?
Oh, no, he did. He did.
Yeah, he was like a year and a half. So he wanted to go to his grandma's, and he knew the direction we would drive to go to her mom's house. So he went out the window, closed it, went down the stairs. He was a year and a half. I'm sorry. He was in his diaper and started walking down the street. Everybody in the neighborhood knew him because he was very friendly and outgoing and all that. And we would always out taking him walks and stuff. The neighbor lady saw him and grabbed him real quick and walked him back. And I'm outside freaking out, getting ready to call the police. And there he was, thank God. But then I had super high locks on all my doors. I had to lock out the windows. I had everything. It was insane.
He was escaping at 1.5.
Yeah, he was. Look at him.
That's intelligent.
Yeah.
Oh, very smart. Very, very, very smart.
Yeah.
Always has been, but not with like academically. He just here's the way it was explained to me because I went through it too. If it's not something they're interested in, they don't care. Okay.
Right.
If you give them an interest that they have, they will excel and above. So that's why Caden is very musically oriented. He can play 6 different instruments. Never took lessons in him, but he can play them. He's very artistic. He's very good with artsy things. He's very he could be an actor. He's very outgoing in those things. But if you give him a math problem, forget it. Okay.
Right.
And that's just like me. I was the same way. I was always very artistic, musically inclined. Obviously, I can talk to people because here I sit. But give me a math problem and I'm gonna throw it back at you. It's like hieroglyphics to you. It's just the way it works. So the younger one, absolutely, Victoria. You do not underestimate the young ones because they are quick and fast and out of your but I learned, you learn. We always knew he was always trying to go out the doors, so we would guard the doors with our lives. I never thought the child would climb up on the couch and go out a damn window, but he did. So,
well, and the other thing about Ryan is he was Googling how to hide from cops, how to go missing
at 11 years old.
At 11, yeah.
Right. That's what I mean. Like, so that tells me that he must obviously high functioning if he could use a computer and Google stuff like that. Yeah. So that says why their brains work that way because he's thinking ahead. Okay. If I'm going to take off, I want to get away from here. I have to get away because I have to go experience these things that I need in my life.
Yeah.
I gotta hide from the cops. This is how I do it. You know what I'm saying? This is how they think because their minds are advanced in such a way that you got 35 different things going on and you're trying to answer questions to yourself for all of them at one time. So it's crazy.
Yeah. So can we go over the last let's see. The last moments that he went missing again. It was apparently in the middle of the night.
Okay,
and she said, "Oh, I knew right away within 3 seconds or something that he was gone or something, right?"
She said when she woke up in the morning. Okay, let me back up real quick. So,
okay.
So
can we go back further? Like what happened that day before, and who was there and who isn't, and where
We
the
don't
stepdad
know.
is?
We don't know that, okay? But we
Okay.
do know that she went to dinner with him, and it was recorded on video. They were seen Sunday at dinner.
Okay.
Said they
At a
went
restaurant?
home, and he was playing, yeah, at a restaurant.
Okay.
He was playing, she said, doing his thing, whatever, and then she told him it was time for bed, and he said, "Okay, Mom." And went to bed, said, "I love you." That was that. And then she said she obviously went to bed sometime around midnight or so, is what I'm guessing based on what she said. And
Okay,
she
so
said,
her and she was with him alone at dinner.
yes, the stepfather was in Memphis and had been for a week. Okay.
Okay.
So then,
Oh, she was a week alone with the boy?
well,
Well, no.
that was a regular thing though, because the stepfather would work out of town in Memphis at that job all the time. So
Did she have any support, like a mother or anybody, friend?
I don't know.
No.
She's never
Okay.
spoken. Nobody had. Okay,
Okay.
so then he goes to bed. She says that sometime between midnight and 6 a.m. 6 a.m. she goes to wake him up and knew immediately he was gone. That's how she said it. I noticed that all of his shoes were gone. Okay. And then she said he must have taken a flashlight sometime between midnight and 6 a.m. and left the house.
And somebody was saying the door was locked behind him?
And he locked the door behind him, yes. And that's what I'm
Does
kind
he
of
have a
confused
key? I mean, I don't get
How does an autistic child remember to lock a door but not wear shoes?
Oh, wow.
Especially a child that doesn't like to get dirty. Because my son is like that too. He does not like to have dirt on his body.
Yeah, but he doesn't like to wear shoes. Well, I don't know.
Right.
That's all yeah.
Right.
A lot of times it's the feeling, Dago. It's the feeling, right? They don't like to wear clothes either. At least the boy I took care of didn't.
It's a sensory thing. Yeah, the sensory issues, right.
Yeah, right. So, okay, yeah. And locking the door, that's a lot of forethought. You're right. I mean, let me lock the door so that she doesn't think that I'm gone. Like that's,
I can't imagine him thinking that way. But because again, I'm basing this all on my experiences, and I know that every child's different, but a lot of things I've heard about Sebastian, that's why this is so deep for me, because it's just like my son, identical.
High
Okay.
functioning, yes.
And I can't imagine not remembering to wear shoes, but remembering to lock the door unless here's the other thing. It was stated that Sebastian has a phone, but he left it at home. Now, if he received a phone call from somebody, okay, this is another thought I've had. Because it's been stated that he was abducted too, in some people's opinions.
Oh, right. Okay.
Hold on, guys. I see a couple of you guys are saying that your microphone's really loud, Erica. Sorry. Hold on. Let me readjust this. Here we go.
Thank you. They're like, hey, actually, I gotta go.
Okay.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Oh, no problem. Thank you. I appreciate your input very much.
Yes. Okay. Take care. Have a good day,
too.
you guys.
Bye.
You
Have a
too.
good day.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. So it was stated that I think it was Nick Barris stated that there was a cell phone that he left at home, and I was thinking if he had gotten a call from somebody by chance and told him, "You need to leave right now. Meet me at this place, blah blah blah, so on and so forth. Leave your phone at home so you can't be tracked, blah blah blah, blah blah blah," and he did everything he was told. That's a possibility too, but I don't know who that would be. Okay. And I can't imagine nobody telling him to not wear shoes, but I don't know. It's weird. But I don't know of who he could be in contact with that would tell him to do something like that. That's the weird part of this. Because now we have the fact that the dogs didn't pick his scent up until they got 100 yards away at this construction site. They catch his scent for a few minutes and then it's gone again, as if he drove there in a car, got out, moved to another car possibly, or went in that form is what I'm trying to say. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. If he was abducted, that would be how I would think it would happen, though. If he had his own phone, somebody contacted him. I'm sure they've looked through the phone to see if there were any calls, though, and they would have a lead as far as that's concerned.
Yeah.
So I really don't know.
Do you think they know more than they're letting us know?
Well, I think like CL has a huge point. I think if they thought he was abducted, I think that would have been in their press conference or whatever they've stated on that. That
Yeah.
they would have told the public he's been abducted. Please look out for him. Okay. Because when they first started looking for him, they had people out driving around playing Eye of the Tiger by Survivor and yelling his name, looking for him, thinking he's just out and about in the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And as time goes on and it gets later and later and later that he's been gone, things change. Okay. So it's weird. The fact that I showed the neighborhood the other day, I can't get past this. I can't get out of my head. They showed the neighborhood that he lives in. This is a $600,000 home he lives in, and every house around him is the same. It's a very, very high-end neighborhood, considering around here, when I see neighborhoods like that, every home has cameras on it.
Yeah.
Period. Not one person saw him on any of their cameras in that area. So how did he get from his home to the construction site? And Victoria just said they said that in the news. Said what, Victoria? That he was abducted? I've never heard that. They're saying abduction and foul play. So that must be new then, because I've never heard abduction before. And I did recently hear that they're possibly looking at foul play now.
I don't think it's something they can rule out.
Of course not. No. Maybe that's how they're saying it too. I don't know. But I've never heard them say that they believe he was abducted. This was said after they searched the land. Okay, I haven't probably missed that then. So thank you for that. Hey Hope, good to see you. Yeah, I don't know. And then like I said, today to find out that he was supposed to go live with his father on a permanent basis now. That changed some things up in my mind. Okay. It's because social media didn't look up the updates. Okay.
My question is that's still not like okay, he was supposed to go live with his father permanently.
Yeah.
But that doesn't justify getting rid of him.
No, not at all.
You know what I mean? Like, by any means.
Right. Hold on, JC. Give me one. So you can keep talking if you want. I'll be right back. Just give me a second.
I'm just wondering if that's, I mean, pointing to the mother, but I don't know. I just don't think that that's a reason to, I mean, nothing's a reason, but I wonder if she is involved, like she must have had something, she must have, thought something and was just kind of messed up. I don't know. But
right.
But it doesn't sound like, I mean, it sounds like she went to bed at midnight and found him missing at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
So,
Right. And like I said, I don't know. The way it was brought out in the beginning, I mean, I guess you could consider abduction as a motive, possibly. The problem is that nobody saw anything as far as an abduction. That's where the issue lies with me. And there was not much that led to that theory.
Now, here's a thought. If she didn't want him to go live with the dad, she could have him somewhere and only her go see him and make him go missing for everybody, just so she knows where he's at and only she knows where he's at. And
I've actually read stories about this, and I need to pull up the timeline. Somebody sent it to me a while back, and I forgot to grab it. Hold on a minute here.
Like, am I onto something?
I don't know, but hold on a minute. 1 second. Hold on. Where is it now? Oh, here we go. 1 second. Okay, so give me a second. Make sure you guys can hear this. Where is it? Or not? No. Okay, 1 second.
I'm Mark Kelly. Rogers has been missing for more than 2 weeks, and right now officials have no leads in the case.
Can you guys see and hear that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Thank you for joining us for News 2 at 4. I'm Mark Kelly. So while the Sumner County community continues to wait for answers, they're doing what they can to help. News 2's Caitlin Quisenberry spoke with some of the residents who are keeping Sebastian front of mind through flyers.
Driving through Sumner County, cars pass by cardboard signs, and people walk by printed signs of Sebastian Rogers as the search continues for now the second week. After almost a full week of exhaustive search efforts in air, water, and land by mounted patrols, K-9 units, and ATVs, authorities moved the search to an investigation. At last update, investigators searched a Kentucky landfill, but it did not give them any additional clues as to what happened to Sebastian. Now, Sumner County residents are just doing what they can by printing and posting flyers from the Sumner County Sheriff's Office.
We took it upon ourselves to take a picture of it, display it on my Facebook page. We've encouraged people to just spread it, through social media. We've seen it at local businesses here in District 18, as well as outside of this district in Gallatin and Hendersonville.
County Commissioner Don Schmidt from District 18 says the goal of the flyers being posted throughout the county is to remind people to continue searching their property every morning and night.
We want to keep it fresh in everyone's minds. We don't want Sebastian to take a back seat. We don't want him just to, fall out of our memory or minds, to, just get everyone to stay vigilant, continue looking in the hiding spots, even as redundant as it sounds.
And as people drive by a now quiet search headquarters, the conversations and thoughts surrounding Sebastian Rogers remain relevant throughout the community, especially in places like local businesses.
Some lady wasn't even aware that this was happening, and I can't imagine having a son missing or having a brother missing or anything like that. And so it's so important that we are raising awareness, because it is a missing person and we just want him to come home safe. So I really think it's amazing that we're doing everything we can to put flyers up everywhere.
In Sumner County, Caitlin Quisenberry, News 2.
There is a very real sense of fear.
Okay, hold on, guys. Sorry about that. Let me bring this over here. Okay, so the timeline here, I'm going to read. Well, maybe I can show it here. Maybe. Yeah, that'll work. Okay, here we go. All right, so I don't know how well you guys can see it. It's been a little over 2 weeks. 15-year-old Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers disappeared from his home, Hendersonville, with no signs of the missing teen. So going down to the timeline, this is the full timeline. February 26th, the search begins. The Tennessee Bureau, TBI, issued endangered child alert around 11:17 a.m. On behalf of the Sumner County Sheriff's Department, in the alert, investigators wrote that Sebastian was last seen earlier that day near Stafford Court in Henderson. Wait a minute. Monday, February 23rd, around 11:17 a.m. on behalf of Sumner County Sheriff's Office. That he was last seen earlier that day near Stafford Court in Hendersonville. That's new. I never heard that before. My understanding was that he wasn't seen last time he was seen was the night before. So that's I don't know if that's right or wrong. But okay. Anyway, I'll move forward. It shows what he was wearing. Okay, so on and so forth. And let's see. The 27th is when the Amber Alert was issued the next day. Right, but it didn't say really, it never said that before to me that he was seen earlier that day near his home. Last I understood, he was seen that night before by his mother, and that was it. Okay. So that was different to me. But anyway, so TBI upgraded that to an Amber Alert on Tuesday, the next day. Welcome back, Shelly. Wednesday, the TBI puts out their statement. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, that nothing. Thursday, the search hits 4 days. In a press conference Thursday, officials said they had received several tips amid calls for people to check their surveillance cameras, but none were confirmed sightings of Sebastian. Okay, then. There was a glimpse of hope that day as search dogs tracked a scent, but it turned out to be a false alert. Investigators also drained a pond to the east of Sebastian's home and found nothing, because that's one of the things is he loves water. He likes fishing and all that stuff. So Saturday, the
Ryan
roar.
likes water too.
I'm sorry.
Ryan liked water too, and they drained they looked in one of the ponds near where
Yeah.
he was too.
Yeah, that's a big thing with some of these kids is they love water. Caden does too. That's why we have a pool. But and then Saturday, the reward was offered as the search for Sebastian entered its 6th day. The officials stating that there has still not been any sightings. The sheriff's office told News 2 an anonymous group of business owners in the Nashville area had pledged a minimum cash reward of $3,000 for information. Nothing happens yet. On Monday, March 4th, we have 7 full days. Searches scaled back at that point. Authorities announced Monday, March 4th, they were scaling back the ground search for Sebastian and transitioning to an investigation after a week of intensive efforts and still no signs of the missing teen. Then we got Thursday. Wait, where are we at? So that was Monday. Then we go through Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, March 7th. Okay. That's when they went ahead and moved it to the Kentucky landfill. Okay. They came out of there, thank God, with nothing. It was just a precautionary measure. And then let me see. From that point forward, there has been nothing other than the standardized. Basically, Seth, the biological father, said he was out searching by himself. Okay. So, which is sad for me. If I had the ability, I'd be there with him right now, helping him search, because it's just not right. And his mother and stepfather should be out there right now too. I don't understand that. I don't get it. I don't want to hear that I'm sitting by the phone waiting because your phone's portable, just like with the Soto case. That was ridiculous. And again, Sebastian's 5'5". He weighs 120 pounds with dirty blonde hair. If you see or have info or whereabouts, call the county sheriff's department at that number there, of course. And that's the basic timeline, guys. And it just something's off with this. It bugs me so bad. So bad. I can't quite put my finger on it. Now, I will say that I'm not comfortable with, I'm not as comfortable as I was with his mother and the stepfather at this point. I'm just not, based on things I heard coming from the father. So, it could just be intuition. Something's not right. Something's not matching. But, I don't know. I just don't know. I pray every single day that this child comes home. He's happy. He's healthy. He's safe. My it doesn't make sense. Like I said, there's cameras everywhere and nobody saw anything, which is weird to me.
Very
And
weird.
makes me believe that he was taken out of there in the middle of the night when nobody could see in the dark in a vehicle or something. That's the only thing that makes me get this or make any sense to me, knowing that he should be being seen on cameras left and right around that neighborhood, and I don't get it. So very weird. Very, very weird. So I don't know, guys. I'm gonna check something real quick with you for you guys. And then I'm probably gonna be shutting her down for today, during the day at least here. 1 second here. Okay, here it is. It's old. See, this stuff is all saying it's new, but it's not. It's old. Let me check this here then. Maybe. Alright. No work today for you? Okay. There is no updates as of now. Um, yeah, there's nothing new yet. No new updates as of now, folks. So we're just gonna have to keep our fingers crossed, keep praying here and there. Um, and that's pretty much gonna do it for today, guys. I may be back in here tonight for sure. I'm gonna try at least. I was trying last night, and sadly, I fell asleep. So that was my fault. But yeah, I'm gonna try about tonight, and we'll see what happens. Other than that, thank you very much for joining me today, JC. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. Thank you for
any-
having me.
Anytime. Anybody that jumps up here with me today, I appreciate it. All the callers, thank you for calling in as well. I appreciate the support on this, guys. We have to keep pushing to this. And as far as the Soto case, like I rambled on earlier today, we have to be able to make the difference in that scenario. And start by starting at home, informing and educating, and that's the most important thing. So, guys, thank you very, very much. That's a good point, Eagle. Did mom have a boyfriend we don't know about? That was talked about earlier today. That is a good point. Thank you very much, War Eagle. Paula, thank you for joining us today. I appreciate that very much, and everybody else as well. Newsweek, Dago, Sebastian Rogers missing updaters, foul play feared. Yes, that was heard. I did hear that. Thank you, Victoria. So other than that, guys, don't forget to love yourselves, love each other. Please don't change a thing about yourselves. Let's keep our prayers up and our thoughts with the families of all these horrible victims in all of these circumstances, and pray to God that something good comes out of something soon. You guys are amazing. I appreciate every one of you guys. And moderators, amazing job as always. God bless, guys, and I will see you all so very soon. Gotcha, Dakota. Thank you. Guys, have a great one. I'll talk to you very soon here. Bye-bye now.